Attention shoppers, nothing requires your attention. There is no cleanup on any aisle. Everything is fine. No need to show your receipt at the exit. Self-checkout will not be monitored by any employee.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. We were on time as usual, despite what the historic revisionists would have you believe. This show has a 97% on-time chance. So, how's everybody's night going? Doing well, I hope. We have a new season of Nog ahead of us, where we must once again bash the Noggers into oblivion as they so deserve. But before we get to Nogger bashing, we do need to welcome the other guests to the show, which is going to be Dank and Richard. How's your guys' night going?
Oh, pretty well, all things considered. Had a nice dinner and just been doing yard work all day.
Perfect. The national pastime of the racially ambiguous yard work. You look like you could own a landscaping business somewhere. You know, I'm thinking New Mexico.
I'll turn up my whiteness
Arizona.
a little bit.
There you go. The angelic filter. Turn that up a little bit.
It's your Michael Jackson filter.
Yeah. He was actually suffering from alopecia, I'll have you know, so it actually was not his fault.
Actually, he's not anymore. He's dead.
Oh, good point. Good point. But since there aren't any 9-year-olds on the stream, I don't think he will be crawling his way out of the grave anytime soon to get on here.
Not to completely derail, but did you guys ever watch Razor Fist, Rageaholic?
Yeah, I know Razor Fist. Yeah, I know. He goes through a really long defense of what's his face? Michael Jackson, right? Because he believes that it was all a made-up conspiracy to essentially discredit the man, because of he didn't want to sell his rights to his music to certain individuals, and he was very against certain elements within the music industry, so it was a big scam to try and take him down, as they say.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. Is my mic better, by the way?
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah, it sounds better.
You're good.
I love StreamYards.
Yeah, it only
best,
changes
isn't
changes your settings every time for no reason whatsoever. What's not to love about it?
Midstream.
Now, well, okay, we got to get to the crazy escaped monkeys eventually. But before we get to those monkeys,
Which ones are we talking about?
Well,
it's not November 1st
many
yet,
monkeys
sir.
will be talked about today for sure. But let's get to a confession. All right, now this is tragic. Probably the most upsetting thing that I've ever had to say on the channel, honestly, to date. But there was a Palmetto State Armory W, a complete, unabashed win, a complete Moggin of the noggin. And, you know, it's strange, but the truth makes for strange bedfellows. So, of course, on my side, we have Shadow Systems, Brownells, and a new challenger, Palmetto State Armory, calling out the mustard gas nog breath of some of you noggers out there. So I didn't think that this topic would continue on for so long, but here we are, still debating the subhuman noggers amongst us, their fruity little sweet cinnamon egg drink that they like to pretend has, good macros, when in fact it is almost entirely sugar. Might as well just have a milkshake, be a man, don't call it something else.
Hey, it's also fat.
It's very fat. No, it's like 350 calories per 5 grams of protein. It's garbage for your macros. Don't try to defend it, all right? All right? I see Subartic already threatening me, which is wonderful. Thank you for that. But yeah, it's on. Charlie Cox, of course, still posting. I've had a Charlie update, I think, all the last 4 streams. Shadow Systems, we stand for precision, performance, and keeping weird holiday drinks far, far away. Bourbon, coffee black, no nog in sight. Hashtag no nog. And I think really it should be hashtag no nog November. All right? No nog November. That's what I'm saying, gentlemen. No more nog for you guys. We're taking it away because despite how you attempt to defend your sugar addiction, all right, I have been reliably informed that eggnog is a rebranded Jewish drink. Kogel Mogul is an egg-based homemade dessert once popular in parts of Europe. I wonder what parts. It's made from egg yolks, sugar, and flavoring such as honey, vanilla, cocoa, rum, or similar eggnog or a Zambioni. It's a classic form. It is served slightly chilled or at room temperature, and its place of origin is Jewish communities. So if you enjoy, your Jewish zog slop, your nog zog slop, it's all right. You can enjoy it. It's fine. It's fine. You can enjoy it. You can be a little Shabbos goy and drink your nog. It's fine. Drink your nog for zog. I think that's the slogan there. I'm sorry. But the cider chads will continue to win. You guys can just hold the L for the rest of the stream. No problem whatsoever. It's all right. Maybe you should, drown your sorrows in some more Zognog. It's all right. I think, yeah, we're just calling it Zognog from now on. Yeah, of course.
I mean, hey, if it rhymes, it's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's a catchy slogan. It works. That's right. Total chat domination. And I'm going to ignore any comment to the contrary.
Finally, something everybody could agree on, and if you disagree on it, you will be banned from chat.
Now, if
that's just the rules.
If you're not convinced yet that we are the true Aryan cider master race, do as the Romans do. The first recorded reference to cider dates back to the Roman Empire. The story goes that the first Romans arriving in Britain in 55 BC found the locals drinking a cider-like drink and swiftly gained a liking for it, bringing it back across the empire. Following the discovery, cider soon spread across wider parts of Europe. Historians have uncovered evidence of Germanic tribes enjoying the drink. True Aryan cider chad master race. Not Zognog. Nope, not Zognog. The true Roman eagle feasted on cider, not Zognog. tragic. Cider stands stay winning as usual, and the Zognogs will be beaten back until January 1st when they retreat back into their holes or back into their tunnels. All right, maybe some New York Nog tunnels. All right, over there until we see them next October or so. But yeah, it's just, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry to break it to you, but the true Aryan drink is cider.
I drink hard cider all year long.
Yeah. Some people would rather be hard in cider. You know what I'm saying? The light spore for 2. You don't need to listen to Moonman. Punished focus. I think it might have actually, because Moonman donated before the stream even started. I don't even have access to Moonman's early super chats. So let me go over here. I will find it. Supers. Oh my gosh. Make sure that was the only one that I missed. Yes, Moonman for 5 says, Richard, the thing I made you, you know the thing. I am now off to get nuggies. Well, I wish you well on your search for nuggies. I'm sure that you will find them quite to your liking, to your sophisticated taste buds. Thank you, the Light Sport and Moonman. Yeah, for $2 says, don't listen to any of them, Gassy, just for Chuddy. Aw, thank you, HL. That's an, I can't even say that on YouTube, dude. It's okay. It's
You
funny.
can't say even a little bit of that name.
Yes, I mean, listen, we get it. DHCC 1488 for 2 says, hi everyone, I love cider and horse cum. PSI. Well, you're half correct there. You're half correct there. Mr. What is it? Derek's Horse Cum Collection. That's the name. Subarctic Psycho for 5 says, John likes fruity little wimp drinks because he can't handle the trinity of milk, eggs, and liquor. Enjoyed the founding fathers, by the way, who were also Freemasons. And when you think about it, the Freemasons, founding fathers kind of led to what we have now. All right. So big brain move. The Zognog infiltration was early on in our country's history. How about that? We got to go even further back to the Romans, to the Aryans. What did they drink? Cider. That's right. Thank you, Sabardic. Appreciate it, sir. Sabardic for another 2, mildly threatening, says, I keep my chainsaw sharp, John. Definitely not a threat. Certainly not. Just
I mean, you all should keep your chainsaw sharp. Have a chainsaw sharpener and a chainsaw, guys. If
you never know when
you're a
do
guy.
some impromptu foresting. All right.
Yep.
To prune the proverbial forest. Thank you, Sabardic. Kim Jong-un, I love thick girls and nukes for 5 says, last I looked, nukes don't fall under the NFA. So yeah, they're a completely different classification, sir. So yeah, no NFA restrictions on nukes.
Yep, they're totally not destructive devices, guys. You could own as many as you want.
Yeah, I have 5. Don't ask me why I keep ordering so many Cobalt drill bits. Kim Jong-un, I love thick girls and nukes for 5 says, Breaded 92 series makes the best suppressor host, but Glock 19X is peak pistol. Well, I mean, ranking handguns based on suppressor performance is like ranking them off of mouthfeel. It's interesting, but not all that useful, right?
Useful at least once.
Oh, just like suppressed shooting with them. Polly B for 5 says, simple holiday cocktail I made, Pennsylvania Dutch eggnog plus Dr. Pepper.
That's
I mean,
why would you ruin your Dr. Pepper?
That's gonna curdle. That's gonna be gross. Get out of here.
We're getting dangerously close to just being back at a root beer float, though. And if you want an Americana pipe dream or an Americana drink that you can have all year round, it's a root beer float. You can have it any time of the year, of course. Dutch eggnog plus Dr. Pepper. I do it 50-50, but I'm sure you can play with the ratio. Real sugar soda only. See, that's bad because in like a 12-ounce can, you have like, what, 150 calories? Something like that?
Your macros, dude.
And then you put in Dutch eggnog and you're like at least another 150 calories. So you're looking at like 20% of your daily intake in one drink with no other nutritional value at all.
That's before you count the calories and macros and stuff on booze if you add that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you're putting in more.
Rum is pure sugar.
I mean, it goes along with eggnog, the Zognog drinkers. So, I mean, maybe they just enjoy it for that fact. The Light Sport for True says Assassin's Creed 3 and 4. Fuck. so hard. Yeah, dude, the older Assassin's Creed games, much like the older Call of Duties, like for a while there was like a streak of like 4 or 5 good games, and then after that it kind of just turns into slop every year, which is tragic.
New games suck. Only play old games, guys. There's nothing that's coming out nowadays that's worth playing. Play the classics.
I just saw a trailer for the 4th remake of Halo Combat Evolved, good sir. So I'm sure this time it's going to be better than the first 3 times I played.
I better get my credit card right now.
You mean they're going to get it right this time? Nobody's done it right before. They'll get it right this time.
Well, I don't even think they've ever gotten it right. I don't think they've
I'm sure this is going to be awesome.
I quite literally do not think that 343 or Halo Studios, whatever we're going to call them, has the capabilities of making a good game. It's literally not possible. Tarke for 2 says, rocking out to this awesome metal shanty. Well, thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Repent and return to Christ. But thank you, Tarke. Kim Jong-un, I love thick girls and nukes for 5 says, someone tell John to look at the Graham message I sent him and the 10 planks of Karl Marx and how close we are. No, I did see that. I mean, I can pull that up on stream when we get to it. Because yes, later on in the stream, we have to talk about Nick Fuentes' appreciation of Stalin. Does it go too far? Is it a little wacky? Does he say some weird things at times, you know? That should be fun. Thank you, Kim Jong-un. Appreciate it, sir. Chud McGill for 2 says, how is we supposed to afford our cider without .ebt? I don't think
there's not enough sugar in there for them to buy it.
Yeah, I don't think...
It's not processed enough.
I don't think they're buying cider. You know, if you find me a picture of them stealing cider from a store, just see if that picture even exists. I don't think it does. Now, stealing eggnog? Pretty sure that's out there. Stealing it by the cart?
There's probably food in those speakers.
The closest that they're going to get to cider, I think, is Hennessy.
True.
Armor Right Boy for 2 says, anti-nog till I die. Base. A long life to you, Armor Right Boy. Appreciate that, sir. Sea Runner 1277 for 5 says, I will devote my resources to spam focus chats until I get a sufficient answer. Where in the world is Risky Krisky? Well, like, I have his address. Not going to give it out to you, but I mean, as far as I know, he's still doing well. I haven't talked to him in a month or so, but I mean, I can always reach out, see if he's doing all right. Maybe get him back in here for an end of year stream, end of year review. Could be fun.
Yeah,
so I think you see
getting the gang back together for a end of year stream around New Year's would be fun.
Yeah, heck yeah. I think we did last year. We did a
guest panel.
Last year we did a best and worst of 2024. So I think this year we'll do a best and worst of 2025. Just like we did last year.
Panel. That'll be nice.
Yeah. Subartic Psycho for 5 says, I'm only 2 plane tickets and 1 rental car away from you, John. Well, you could be quite literally anywhere in the world at that rate, dude. I think most people are only 2 plane tickets and a rental car away from me. Thank you, Subartic. Appreciate it, man. Still not threatening, though. Kim Jong-un, I love thick girls and nukes for 2, says, make LimeWire great again. Good luck with that. I appreciate that, Kim Jong-un.
Isn't it still a thing?
Yeah, but it's probably not great. Over on Ko-Fi, Art Vandalay for 5 says, can't watch the live tonight, but cider is a working man's drink. Based. Eggnog traces its roots to British aristocracy, Jews. All noggers need to be tarred and feathered before being sent to the guillotine. All right, fair enough. Appreciate that. Gideon says, happy birthday, John. Missed the last few streams. Won't be able to watch tonight either. Got to wake up early to go rucking with the boys again. Well, that is Mega Base. I hope you have a great time out there. Can't wait to catch the VOD. You should check out that King's Halls video I sent on Discord. Cider supremacy, Christ is king. Thank you. Yeah, see, look how based and wholesome the Cider Kings are. All right? Look how based and wholesome they are. Geonosian says, we were Romans and whatnot. Noggers be coping and drinking their thick, milky substances. I wonder what other milky substances they drink. Cider fans, or not cider fans, sorry. Zognoggers got a lot to answer for when it comes to the liquids they put inside of themselves. Talking about Zognoggers. Chud McGill for 2 says, Shadow Systems and PSA both suck, but they're not always wrong. All right, just like cider fags. Tragic, Chud. Well, we have a few noggers out here, still hanging on, still coping, still seething, but c'est la vie. C'est la vie. All right. Now, this just reads like the starting to a B horror movie, which I find quite funny. So, breaking, truck transporting hostile, quote unquote, monkeys infected with herpes and COVID crashes in Mississippi. Search for the animals continues. Now, if I didn't have this image pulled up, right, with the monkey in it, and I just read you this headline, what image comes to mind? Just out of curiosity. I
plead the fifth.
I mean, it's in Mississippi, infected with herpes. I mean,
certain things come to mind that I don't think I could say.
I'm just saying, but yeah, no, this is a real story. So they gave it to what's a good name? They gave it to Harpreet Singh, Trucking Inc. to get it from the lab to the other lab or wherever they were transporting it to. And surprise, surprise, he rolled the trailer on the freeway and 20 or so monkeys got loose that were just magically infected with herpes and COVID. And, you know, they were used for research purposes. It's like,
well,
it's either just
was it
gross
an Indian truck driver? Do we know yet?
No, I actually don't know. I just made that up. But well, maybe it was a white truck driver that got hit by an Indian. Okay, and that's why he flipped. Okay, so it could go both ways. You know,
could be
in this hypothetical situation, but it's either just downright incompetence, or at some point it's like you're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Surely this just can't be completely accidental. It's like, oh no, evil ass murder rape building. They released a pathogen into the wild. Ah, who could have guessed? Ah, it's tragic.
And this is a story that sounds like it came out of a movie. Officials in Mississippi had to conduct an urgent search for dangerous research monkeys who escaped from a crash wreckage on a highway. Authorities say a truck carrying nearly 24 rhesus monkeys from Tulane University overturned. Authorities warning they might be aggressive towards people and were potentially affected with hepatitis C, herpes, and COVID.
I forgot, yeah, hepatitis C. Yeah, COVID and herpes, you know, just for some reason. Like, I have the SMS Trinity laser behind me. It's not very good. It has some issues. But the Trinity of viruses, you know, it's like, we're just, what are we actually doing to these monkeys? What was the purpose of infecting them with hepatitis C, COVID, and herpes at the same time?
We were trying to make the rage virus real. That's... Well, can't a guy make the rage virus in real life, guys?
Yeah,
come on.
I need that Nick meme where he... yeah, you know, it's we were just doing some things and seeing how the different viruses interacted with each other. Just, you know, what if we created a super retard, right? Where they just have all the STDs.
One vaccine that will cure all of them.
Obviously.
Derp.
University overturned. Authorities warning they might be aggressive towards people and were potentially
gain of function. Yeah, they're gain of STD function, gain of hepatitis C function, gain of retard function. It's like, oh, we just released them, and you know, it's actually, you know, if you go back to what other sort of experiments people have run on, let's say, more rural communities, and even specifically Black communities, with like the Tuskegee. That's the one. Tuskegee experiments, right? Where, I mean, they just later on admitted, oh yeah, we did that. Oops. So I mean, you know, some 3-letter agency dropping off AIDS-infested monkeys into a rural community. It's like, oh, it accidentally happened. Ah, who could have foreseen this?
I mean, to be fair, this is probably safer than walking down the strip in San Francisco. What is that?
Yeah. I mean, you're walking over AIDS-infested needles in San Fran. So, I mean, take that, or Hep C, COVID, and herpes.
One good thing about the monkeys specifically getting out in in Mississippi is their natural predator is already there.
affected with hepatitis C, herpes, and COVID.
We got 21 monkeys that was on this. We got 5 of them on the run. They may have to neutralize something out here in a minute.
So imagine being one of these. Imagine being one of these police officers, right? So you're responding to a scene, and it's like, okay, yeah, there's these monkeys running around. They might be agitated, and it's like, okay, oh, by the way, they're carrying COVID, herpes, and hepatitis C. Can you go chase them down? I'd be like, excuse me? What? No, thank you. This is an animal control job, I'll have you know. Like, I'm going back inside. I'm leaving now.
Now, all but one of the escaped monkeys were killed. It was not clear who owns them, who was transporting them, or where they were being taken.
Okay, that's actually retarded.
And were
What?
Now, all but one of the escaped monkeys were killed. It was not clear who owns them, who was transporting them, or where they were being taken.
What?
Do we not have cops for that?
Excuse me? Yeah, there's these random 21 AIDS-infected monkeys just appeared in rural Mississippi. I don't know how it happened. It's like, how'd they get there? Don't know. Who owns the trailer? Who knows? I don't know. The monkeys, any paperwork? Psh. Well, if you don't have any paperwork on the research monkeys, how do you know that they were infected with hepatitis C, herpes, and COVID?
That's
like, surely
extremely fast lab tests.
That's odd.
It's very odd. And they're also saying all but one has been killed. So there is still one Trinitarian monkey running around in Mississippi just waiting to infect the local population. It's great.
I mean, there's probably more than one, but we know at least one.
There's at least one agitated monkey running around with herpes, all right, which would make most people agitated as well. But imagine being those monkeys. It's like, what's you're rolling the dice for where you're going to be born, and so you get born into like a lab animal. It's like, okay, you get herpes, hep C, and COVID, and we just want to see what it does to you, buddy. That would make anybody mad at the world.
You know, I got to say, this is still better than what they were doing to the beagles. I don't know if you guys recall that story.
Oh, what was Fauci doing to the beagles again? I remember this story.
I do.
Remind me.
So it was extremely disturbing. He was performing maximum pain experiments on them to the point that the researchers had to cut out their vocal boxes because they could not stand the dogs crying in pain. They were immobilizing them, trapping them in a cage, and essentially letting flies and other animals eat them alive.
Yeah.
And
Very
if
nice.
you're wondering how does all of this tie into gun culture, well, I'll tell you. Just look at the CEO of the NRA. Look no further.
Who's CEO of the NRA?
Well, his name isn't really important. We just know that he's convicted of torturing cats and pled no contest.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
This is just awesome.
It's wonderful.
I'm sure that's a very wholesome individual who likes to torture cats in his spare time. I mean, who doesn't, right? I mean, we can all be a little silly at times.
It was more than just torture. It was like a ritualistic sacrifice, but you know.
There's something about these types and rituals and sacrifices and going back to medieval Europe, and there's
it's almost like there's a pattern here or something.
There's a pattern here. There's something here. All right. Lighter news though. Homeland Security maintains their base posting spree. The board is set. The pieces are moving. We come to it at last. The great battle of our time. And of course, Mary saying there won't be a Shire Pippin if we don't do something, if we don't convince the Ents to march on Isengard, which is a great line. And I also like the other edit where they give him the glowing eyes and he says there will be a Shire Pippin. We will ensure a Shire. But they continue their streak. Also quite funny is there's some extra real estate now that some of the immigrants are no longer grading, so to speak. One of the tenants got picked up by ICE, so I'm taking his couch. It's a nice couch. Landlords winning again. Honestly, you should rent 2 illegal immigrants, collect the rent checks,
And
turn them
then-
into ICE, collect their belongings, rinse and repeat, right? I think that this is a very effective way to, one, increase profit margins for landlords, which is mega based, but also to remove people who shouldn't be here.
And it's a great business model too, because after you evict the first people by whatever means necessary, ICE, whatever, then you can rent the apartment as furnished. So win-win.
But you could
Yeah.
rent it as furnished depending on what they have there, but you could also simply take it, right, and sell off the stuff and then sell it as whole, or depending on what you want to do, right? Obviously, it depends on the condition of the furniture, or like this landlord says, I just took the couch. It was nice, so it's mine now.
I do have to agree.
Profit
couch.
making machine.
Yeah.
Nice couch.
With this one simple trick, you can increase profit margins by 100%.
Speaking of ICE, my small town recently had an anti-ICE protest because a kid, and I say a kid, like a teenager and his father, got picked up by ICE as he was dropping him off for school, and everybody freaked out near me locally, and they ended up like bolting one of the ICE detention centers near here. The gate shut, and people were getting arrested. It's awesome. I just get to sit back and watch all this nonsense happen around me.
Did you at least get pictures?
No, I didn't.
Oh, wait. Oh, that's so funny. I didn't even notice that Bucky and Vintage Warfare over here in a chat room saying we hate women, no boomers. Actually, what is this?
You can get into a live and kind of have good engagement, like grow your account pretty well. And I know that's not the whole point. It's kind of the vibe and everything with the boys and plan the destruction of the global homo menace. But the one thing that's like been really stale, and maybe this is just the accounts I'm following or something, but I feel like.
All right, that wasn't interesting. I was hoping that was going to be spicy. It was not. Say la vie. All right. Lightsport for 2 says cider figs. You, John, what's your mile time though? Well, I'll have you know, I had a very, very impressive mile time when I was in cross country and running marathons in my late teens. So anymore though, don't ask. How about that?
15 years ago.
That's 10 years ago now. Well, yeah, 12, whatever. Shut up. Emberite Boy for 2 says, everyone use my meme template of Mr. Trip. People have. I have seen many memes of me and the faces that I make on this stream at times. Tactical Amish Guy for 2 says, y'all see the Harambe and Candace Owens OF collab?
Oh no.
I would say why,
You
but
don't get to ask those questions. What's wrong with you, Mom? Why are you so scared?
I'm just going to say no. No, I have not. Lightsport for 2 says, EOTech Mini worth it? One comes bundled with a 19 MOS. Well, I mean, the 19 MOS is worth it. So the Mini, the E-Flex, or whatever they call it, it's super mediocre, you know. Which is, I mean, it's fine, right? It's a red dot. It does red dot things. It's not my favorite.
Dot.
Yeah, it's a dot. But if you really want the 19 MOS that's attached to it, then yeah, go for it. Chud for 2 says Nogs invented by monks. Which monks? In medieval Europe, Anglo strength. Well, listen, I'm just saying we can trace our cider history all the way back to the Aryan master race. Okay, so you know we have like 1,200 years on you guys. Easy there, Chud. Subardic Noticer for 2 says thoughts on Tucker Fuentes vid. We don't like basketball's Americans. We are going to be reacting to, I suppose, a part of the Tucker Fuentes vid, but not really, just more of the talk about Stalin specifically, which I think is interesting. Thank you for that. Chud for 2 says blacks literally can't drink nog. Debate over. I see some of them interacting with the nog, so I mean maybe they just force themselves through the pain to drink their Soylent Green or whatever it ends up being.
If it rhymes.
Skibbity Toilet Riz for 5. Where is that?
Skibbity Toilet Riz. Okay.
Richard, have you tried Cider Boys Hard Cider? Good stuff. Give it a try if you haven't. And Discord link also Trench with Hearts. Aw. Let me go ahead and drop the link.
Tried that one. My favorites are Woodchuck, and I like it's one called Wicked Grove. It's cheaper. It's like $6 or $7 for a 6-pack. So I'd get it at Aldi.
Sea Runner for 2 says insufficient answer, Trip. Well, I think it's only going to be. Why'd you do that? I think it's only going to be insufficient until I get him on the show. Because listen, it's like people who ask for Dugan or John or any of those guys to be on here. Like they're only satisfied when they're actually on. So I'll get it done. I'll see if he wants to have a chat sometime. I'm sure he'd be always up for it. Thank you, Sea Runner. 1 before Cietus 8 for 5 says, F Nick, he's probably a Fed and is against our cause. Christ is king. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far about Nick. I don't really know a whole lot of about Nick. The more I learn about Nick, the less I do like, because usually it's people sending me stuff about Catboy Cammy or some of the other things that he said and done on his streams. So that's always interesting. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the 5. Randy reviews it for 5 says, State of the world. We got monkeypox from escaped monkeys, probably trench grenade. Yeah, in one of Trench Grenade's videos. State of the world. Urgent. Monkeypox. How to fight it. Thank you, Randy reviews it. Focus Trips Cat for 2 says, convince me to or not to get a 37mm. For like flares and stuff like that, I think it's fun. It's cool for the LARP. Does it serve a real purpose? Probably not.
So
if you got extra money and you want a LARP, yes. If not, no.
They make adapters for those that fire 410 and 22. You can load like 30 something 22 tracers into it at once and fire them all.
Well, funny, I think that's very stupid. The Light Spore over on Ko-Fi says, I dealt with a lot of agitated monkeys in LE. We are talking about the same type of monkey, right? Light Spore, I mean, your monkeys are a little more, probably honestly a little bit more agitated than the monkeys that came out of literally fell out of a trailer on the highway.
Statistically speaking.
Central says offense for 5 says ordered my Trinity when they went on pre-sale, still hasn't shown up or gotten a shipped email. Wonderful. Okay, well, I'm gonna have a full video on the Trinity when I have it in a match this weekend, this Saturday. I've only put about 400 rounds on it, and I've played around with some of the settings. The problem is that sometimes the buttons don't work, which is not great, and also it leaked sealant all around the slider, so it's just like this goopy black liquid all around the slider and on the mode selector. So not super happy about that. And for a lot of people still waiting, I also don't like that very much. So, but yeah, best of luck when it arrives. I hope it does not have those issues, Ben.
Your beam splooged on you. That's funny.
Yeah. Brass and Beard 2 says, damn, Obama got loose. Obama, get down. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say the N-word. All right. Talking about, we'll move on to this one. All right, so this is real. USDA, U.S. Department of Agriculture, decided to put up a banner explaining why their food stamp program will be running out in approximately 55 hours from now. We will be officially in the no EBT portion of American history, which will be quite interesting. Perhaps some wacky events will go down when people can't eat. And one thing I will say, regardless of what your thoughts are on the EBT program and its many, many abuses, when you take away their access to food, despite whether they deserve it in the first place or not, but when you take away their access to food, they're quite liable to do a lot of crazy things. So the statement reads, Senate Democrats, which also I do have to say, the marketing by the right, or in this case by the Trump administration, is pretty good. They're pretty combined on all fronts to make sure that the Democrats take all the blame for it, whether that's warranted or not, but their marketing has been pretty good, pretty unified on that front. Senate Democrats have now voted 12 times to not fund the food stamp program, also known as the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which that sounds great, right? Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. But
Well-
what SNAP actually is it just replaces people's budgets entirely and allows them to buy as much garbage as they can fit in their cart. Right?
Like
Some of
any
these people.
Incentivizes
program.
them to.
Oh, of
Like
course.
any
Well, listen. If you were working a really crappy job that allowed you to get housing subsidies, food subsidies, why would you work harder for a better job? Why would you ever improve your station in life if you literally got your house, your car, your phone, your medical bills, and your food paid for by maintaining a certain level of poverty, right?
And you sold
Some
drugs
people-
on the side.
Well, yeah, some people don't work. Yeah, if you unclaimed, of course, you can be living quite well and you can save $800 a month on your EBT, right? So some people have a certain level of poverty. They maintain that level of poverty so that they don't make too much money where they don't qualify for any of these programs. Some people make no money whatsoever. They are just permanently in this through multi-generational. They were raised. This is how we do it. This is why the government takes care of us. All this sort of stuff. Single parent households also have a lot to play in this, so on and so forth. But yeah, the supplemental assistance program is not that. Bottom line, the well has run dry. At this time, there will be no benefits issued November 1st. We are approaching an inflection point for Senate Democrats. They can continue to hold out for health care for illegal aliens and gender mutilation procedures, right? So that's pretty based. So, and that's where the unified message is, and it's putting all of the onus on the Democrats, which of course this is a Republican-controlled institution at the moment. They can continue to hold out for healthcare for illegal aliens and gender mutilation procedures, or reopen the government so mothers, babies, and the most vulnerable among us, citation needed, can receive critical nutrition assistance. And again, this bypasses all of the issues with the SNAP program, but yes, in general, I mean, a certain side is waiting for even more benefits to even more people who shouldn't be getting this, right? So making the system even worse. Although, again, Republicans and quote unquote conservatives just want to maintain the status quo. And I would say that the status quo is garbage, right? They're not conserving anything. They're maintaining a awful, corrupt system that allows these sort of abuses to go on in the first place. They're just kind of whining and hoping it doesn't get any worse.
Well, conservatives are also maintaining the status quo of continued governmental growth. Right?
Well,
there is no limited government Republicans anymore. They don't exist. I take that back.
No, there's
Thomas
like two.
Massie and Matt Gaetz. That's it. There is two.
Yeah,
Like
like
precisely.
literally too.
No, and SNAP could be a positive thing for society, but it is abused and used by so many people for so long. People just don't get jobs.
Yeah.
It is quite ridiculous. If it was a thing where it's like, oh, you're out of work for 6 months, we'll help you in that meantime. I mean, that makes a lot more sense than stay on this forever, generationally eat shitty food and commit more crime.
Well, I didn't have it pulled up, but I think there was 8 companies that basically their entire existence depends on EBT. And it's like Coca-Cola, Walmart, and a few other of the big like garbage manufacturers. Like without EBT, they would have to downsize or cut costs or change the way that they do business, because we quite literally, with my tax dollars, with your tax dollars, we quite literally subsidize these billion trillion dollar companies to maintain their garbage production, right? And so it is a awful vicious cycle.
Yep.
And so from my standpoint, it's don't ever bring it back, right? Which is definitely going to hurt some people that don't deserve it in the meantime. But
it's too abused at this point.
Yeah, it needs to be completely redone. And now people say, well, listen, we have these sorts of programs in other countries, and then they insert a majority white country and say, and it works great there. So we just need to try and have those policies here. It's like, well, we have other problems here.
Yeah,
so
those policies might work with certain people, but they're not working here.
No.
And have you guys seen the thing where it's supposed to be an organized protest, aka mass stealing, where they said, I think it's on the 6th, everybody go and steal all at once. They can't get us all, y'all, or something to that effect.
We have many such scholars who are plotting publicly their crimes, which is a genius move.
Yep. Scholars who historically don't know time or don't have a word for maintenance are all planning to steal at the same time.
What could go wrong? Food stamps by ethnicity. Afghan, 45%. 45% of all Afghans in the country are on EBT.
Well, right. I wonder what that statistic looked like 4 years ago. Well, technically 5 years ago. Because there was a large influx of Afghans during the Biden administration, and all of them that came in got assistance.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even if it was lower, like 20%, like it's not really all that relevant. Somali, which unfortunately Sioux Falls does have a Somali population because they keep importing them from Minnesota, where it's basically a hub, and then Minneapolis bleeds out to everywhere else. And since we're only like 4 hours away, we do have a few thousand Somalis in Sioux Falls. Just behind them, vying for first place, average IQ, I think 68, 42.4%, Iraqi 34, Dominican 35. Goes Native Americans in the top 5 or top 6 at 27%.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Blacks almost out of the top 10, 25%. Generically beneath them is Arab, Cambodian, Haitian, Pacific Islander, Honduran. Armenians. Sorry guys, maybe you deserve the genocide. It's actually funny. We get to like this middle area between 15 and 20%, and it's all like it turns into South America. So it's like Africa, South America, and then we get some random ones. So Vietnamese for our East Asian representatives. Sorry guys, holding your race back.
It really does kind of align historically with what happens.
Yeah. Peruvian, didn't even know we have like 4 of them here or something. Israel at 11%, tied with Nigeria. Now that's funny to me. Israelis here are on EBT the same level as Nigerians, which either means that Israelis are doing a terrible job where they're just abusing and taking advantage of the system, or Nigerians somehow like actually do okay. 11% is not terrible, considering that Filipinos 10, Chinese is 9.6, which I also think that's just straight up abuse somehow. I don't think that those people probably actually need it. I think they're just taking abuse of the system.
Even if it was 1%, I would disagree with it.
Now, this is a mega based list, all right, because we have white at 8.6%. Separated out, we have Italian, not white. We don't claim them. Now, what's funny is Italians are a little bit lower at 7.6%. And somehow, I don't know if this graph was made by an Indian and he tried to sneak in India at the bottom just to be like, oh, we're number 1 or whatnot. But India, only 4.4%. I don't know if that's accurate or if that has to do with the H-1B visa program.
I think
this chart was brought to you by Kash Patel.
Oh yeah, they're used to being at the bottom rung of society or something like that. So they just instinctually they're there. But yeah, no, they separate out white and Italian. I didn't do that. Okay, that was you guys. I'm
surprised they didn't separate out Irish.
Yeah, Irish would be at like 15% actually. Actually, I'm trying to think. Is there a Western country at all that's above 10%?
Yeah.
No. What?
Israel considers themselves Western.
Yeah, they're not.
But we don't consider them.
They're not. We don't claim. It's like Italians. We don't claim them.
I just find it.
I mean, Native Americans are technically Western, but I wouldn't consider them a real Western country.
Not really.
Nah. But what are the scholars going to be doing about all this, right? Now, for some of you out there, calm down. I know it's a woman. Relax.
It feels a little fake and gay. Gotta tell you guys, it feels a little fake and gay, and there will be no fakeness and no gayness.
That's right. So we have a black queen, not Vintage Warfare, separate black queen, Personal Finance Wizards LLC, true. All right. And that's how they are. This is her plan to get around the EBT shortage upcoming. So this should be certainly this will be enlightening.
Scholarly.
So y'all, I'm just thinking. I gotta come up with a master plan. They didn't cut my food stamps. I'm down to my last pack of noodles and 2 bars of soap. Something gotta shake.
Okay. I actually didn't understand what she said right there, so I have to play it back. Is this volume? Okay, unfortunately, I had to turn the volume up as well because there's
do
no
the translation. For
Okay,
you,
please
like
do the
Key and Peele.
translating. I think
I speak jive.
do you speak jive?
So y'all, I'm just thinking. I gotta come up with a master plan. They didn't
Okay, so I've got to come up with a master plan.
cut my food stamps. I'm down to my last pack of noodles and 2 bars of soap. So food stamps. I'm down to my last pack of noodles and 2 bars of soap. So
Is she saying I'm down to my last pack of noodles and 2 bottles of soap?
Either
I think
bottles
2
or bars.
I think she said 2 bars of soap.
2 bars of soap.
The
Yeah,
fact that we're
okay.
arguing about what she's saying is saying something in itself.
cut my food stamps. I'm down to my last pack of noodles and 2 bars of soap. Something gotta shake. I'm just trying to see when we going to get the groceries. I'm thinking tomorrow a good day. We can start tomorrow. I got a route for this.
Okay, so she wants to get groceries starting tomorrow. And by getting, I believe she means... Oh, did she say soda? 2 bottles of soda? Bottles of soda? Okay.
Who
I don't
knows?
2 hours of soap. I don't know. Okay, so she needs to go grocery shopping. I don't believe she will be paying for this, though.
Trying to see when we going to get the groceries. I'm thinking tomorrow a good day. We can start tomorrow. I got a route for this. We gonna start that bitch off in New Temple.
When she says she has the right place, does she mean...
She's got a route. They're going to start in New Temple.
Tomorrow a good day. We can start tomorrow. I got a route for this.
What does she say after route? I got a route place? A route
I have
piece?
a route for us.
That was for us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow a good day. We can start tomorrow. I got a route for this. We gonna start that bitch off in New Temple. We gonna run that bitch through Wesley Chapel, swing that bitch down Bruce B. down. We gonna gas up in the city. We ain't gonna fuck with the city, because if we fuck with the city, them hoes gonna be ready to die about that shit. So we gonna leave them alone.
Is she saying that the city folk will kill them for robbing
Yes.
them?
Yeah, only hit the small towns, obviously.
Yeah, because
So,
nobody does anything in a small town, apparently.
well, I
Yeah.
think what they're... I don't know where this fine young lady with a neck tattoo is from. But depending on where you are, you might have a more disarmed populace, right? So you might not be as worried. Whereas in some other more quote unquote rural areas, you might be more likely to encounter a gun in some of your food excursions, your food safaris, right? That these people want to go on. You know, it's like they're on the hunt, right? They're like in their van driving around or whatever it is, and they're like, oh, there, look there, they're bringing out their groceries. Well, do a drive-by grocery grab, you know? It's like a safari, but for retards.
Bring that bitch up round Brandon. Take that bitch through Riverview. Swing that bitch through Apollo. Depending on what time it is, we could take that bitch clean down Del Mabry. Wrap that bitch round Town and Country. We done.
So her master plan is to steal a month's worth of groceries from different stores or from different people. I'm confused.
I think a mixture of both.
Okay. To be a Duolingo course on Jive. That's in the pro version of Duolingo, okay? To get Jive, you have to, it's $20 a month to get that course.
You know how they say learning another language makes you smarter? I think this would be the opposite.
Thing is, I need a ride. I can't take my car. But I think that's a good ride. I think that's
I can't take my car. I need a car. So she's avoiding the inner cities because of gangs, or because she thinks that inner city people are more dangerous?
I'm gonna go with the
Like,
latter.
because I wouldn't want to mess with the gangs either, right? I feel like that would be stupid. But
especially for her.
yeah.
that bitch round Town and Country. We done. Whole thing is, I need a ride. I can't take my car. But I think that's a clean route. Y'all let me know if y'all fucking with it.
What do you guys think of her route? Is that a clean route?
Well,
this is
just by guessing the
Get it
cities
up.
and the accent, I'm gonna guess California. I'm gonna guess she's from California.
I don't know where she's from, but I mean, if anybody recognizes those cities, you tell me where that's from. But yeah,
a place that I wouldn't want to live.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The comments are not safe for YouTube, so I can hang out for a couple seconds, but X is not a place that abides by YouTube guidelines.
The comments say what we're thinking, but we can't say.
Yes. Yeah, you know, all this is great planning. This is great. You're showing a lot of initiative and intuition here, and your planning and decision-making skills are surely on display. So maybe you should just you know, put the fries in the bag or something a couple days a week, and that will solve your problem, you know, for the moment. You know, I think you could acquire food that way. They'd probably even pay you to take a lunch. So you don't even have to eat your 2 hours of soap or whatever it is.
And if you like driving this much, you could deliver mail. You know, there's a lot of options that you could do.
You know,
that makes
Tampa.
Yeah,
that's what people are saying is Tampa. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could work for Amazon and you could deliver packages poorly. I don't know if you guys saw this. This was a while ago, but it was a woman of color who was driving. She parks the van on a driveway in drive, gets out of the car, drops off the package. In the interim, while she's walking, of course, to the front door, the car continues on and then goes into the client's garage. You know, just gained speed going down the little driveway and, you know, just goes through the garage. And then she turns around like, what's going on? What's happening? Don't screenshot that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you could, you know, Amazon's always hiring. Lots of places are always hiring. So, you know, if you want to eat, there's lots of ways to. Honestly, that's less work and less danger, right?
I didn't
Because I
see
mean,
that in Amazon video.
robbing people is work. Robbing people is work. Okay.
The one I seen,
Trust me, it's not easy.
The one I seen recently was one similar where they didn't get the parking brake set. It was on a hill, and the car took off down the hill, which was lined with other cars.
Well, just
and
remember
it bounced
that
off
there
of
are
every one of them on the way down.
Just remember that there are retards driving 20,000-pound motor vehicles everywhere, and they have absolutely no concern for you or the sanctity of human life. If you ever want to feel bad on the road, just
I'd say
remember that.
less than concern. At less than no concern, they actually have animosity toward me.
Yeah, that's for sure. Some
They want me to die.
straight up. Ah, all right.
Their incompetence is so great, it's probably malice.
Well, I do have one thing I want to get your reaction to, Focus. I was hoping to do this live. Check in the side private chat. There is a link to a short there.
John sent the short. What is it?
Richard asked me to find
I
it.
specifically asked him to look for it.
No, why? You suck. American YouTuber Tyler Oliveira's viral footage at the India's wildest poop cow dung throwing festival. Look at that soy face too. Just perfect. Why are you guys making me watch this?
I wouldn't keep my mouth open.
You would, yeah, I was about to say, you would not catch me there with my mouth open.
Necro Holtec Richards privates. Sus?
I thought this was wonderful because immediately after he posted this, India came after him.
You can't expose us for our disgusting, degenerate, evil behavior. What?
Well, then maybe you shouldn't do that.
Listen, guys. We worship demons and we throw poop at each other. What's wrong with that? We're just like you. You should let infinity of us into your country.
Yet dozens of half-naked men smearing moist poop on each other. What could go wrong?
I was throwing up right there for a second. I was like, this is disgusting.
I'm gonna die today. They're gonna kill me. I will tell you kill me! Spare me! Spare me! No good! Don't kill me! Spare me! They're sparing me! They're pacifists! Oh, so much.
Tyler ventured into the heart of Gumatapura, Karnataka, blah, blah, to experience Okay, they're just making these names up. This is not real. Gumatapura, Karnataka, experience Gorha Baba. No, it's not real. To unique post, a unique post Diwali. Yeah, the Diwali, this whatever their pagan demon worship celebration is. After that, it's totally normal, guys. Believe me, it's conducive with Western morality. After that, we throw poop at each other, though. That's the after party. Okay, our after parties are a little different. Some would say a little bit more civilized at times. I don't know if this is
Diddy party.
I was going to say
aside.
kosher, but use a different word for this.
No, I think cow poop is kosher.
Speaking about this being in an after party, it reminds me of those videos from a few years ago where it was Africans getting high off of huffing like rotting cow dung in water bottles. If you guys ever saw that way back in the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you? Okay, so this guy, Tyler Oliveira, he was doing another vlog in India, and somebody picks up cow dung off the floor, eats some, and says that it's good for cancer prevention or something like that in small quantities. So, I mean, honestly, this is not a documentary. This is a prediction of America in 50 or 100 years.
This is the world's biggest cancer treatment.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, I guess. I one way of doing vaccines. Whoever survives.
Yeah.
Shit. So much shit. We keep pushing. I walk untouched. I am the one who shits. Oh my goodness. Keep moving. I'm sinking.
This is hell. This is hell.
Yeah, if you want to know what hell looks like, this is it. This is it. Just screaming darkness and feces. How about that?
I gotta get out of here.
Imagine the smell.
Imagine India without this, and then imagine the cow poop festival in India. It's
contemplate the aroma. That's good. Contemplate the aroma. I
don't
am
even
the
wanna
one
think
who
about it.
wipes. What is my worst nightmare for 5,000, Alex? What is India? Great. Thank you. Thank you. Is this incredibly gassy? Yes. This is literally. You like incredibly gassy? Well, this is what it takes to make him. So how about that? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Well, damn. Thank you for that. I really am so grateful at you for doing this, Richard.
And grateful at you.
Thank you so much. So much.
Focus trip right now. Be like,
Yeah.
Yes. It is just that. But Monty Igloo for 5 says, don't listen to the egg zog. This has always been a cider country. I know. Thank you. Stay strong, Bomani. Appreciate it, sir. Huge Ass for 5 says, herpes monkeys. I didn't know LaFonda was in town. LaFonda. Isn't that the name of the girl from a really stupid comedy movie? With the Pedro, vote for Pedro guy. Napoleon Dynamite. Isn't that the black girl and that's also named LaFonda? Funny that it's a real name. That used to be a joke, but now it's a real name.
I did not watch that movie.
All right, whatever, Richard.
Yeah,
I couldn't get through it. I tried.
Really?
I tried.
Moonman for 2 says, Richard, anime girl cleaning a rhino. Which sounds weird in certain contexts. Thank you for that. Sea Runner for 2 says, monkeys on the loose, aka local HBCU fall break.
Oh.
Chud for 2 says the Troon boyfriend of the Charlie Kirk shooter is missing. Also, Ed.
Well,
I did see
not
that the
necessarily
person was like
missing.
AWOL or trapped in some Troon dungeon somewhere.
Well, by Troon Dungeon, you mean FBI safe house, most likely. Yeah.
Well, no, I was gonna say he's probably like being used in one of our representatives' dungeons right now. They're like, "Oh, a new one for my collection."
Can we not have this
You're
video
going in my
on in the
basement.
background?
I think it's perfect.
You don't like the aesthetics here?
Not really.
I don't. Okay, what is okay? YouTube algorithm poll. Here we go. Ready?
Oh my god, that's terrifying.
All right. Well, actually, dude, that's literally me. Except 4 a.m. is accurate, but 8 a.m. is more like noon. And by work, I mean come to the office, which is this office. Hugh Jasper 5 says, "Imagine the smells locked into that couch. It's got a reek of weed and stale socks." So talking about the ice couch, the ice acquisition. Yeah. Thank you, Hugh
The
Jasper.
smell
Appreciate
of
that,
that
sir.
couch was washed out of your nostrils just now by the by that video.
Yeah, I forgot about that instantly, dude. That was like a mind cleanse. After you see that video, it's so disgusting and like traumatic that everything before that, the first hour of the stream, I don't even remember. It's gone. I remember something about monkey and AIDS, and then I saw that video and I'm like, yeah, that checks out. Spencer Porter for 5 says, "I'm gonna run. Going on a run. Going to MEPS next week. Also, Surplus SIG 2009, very based. Heck yeah. Well, yeah. Good luck at MEPS, man. Sounds like you were gonna have a wonderful time. Giving Uncle Sam the best years of your life." Moonman for 5. Chud is right about everything except Gassy and anything else that he doesn't agree with me on. Yeah, of course. That's a very reasonable take, Moonman. MRI Boy for 2 says, "Breaking news, we are testing nukes again." If you need a target, I have a couple places in mind. I have some footage from a documentary crew that went in there, and I think it could use some cleaning up. Okay? Couple targets in mind. Thank you, MRI Boy. Moonman for 2 says, "Read, this was like 30 minutes ago, Richard, so I don't even know if you can find this. Read Evan Graham post." Okay, Moonman, for $2, I'm going to sacrifice the rest of Richard's night for that. It's a sacrifice that I am willing to make. Todd and Dogs for 2 says, "Cider was part of the first basic bitch starter pack." No, I don't think you call Romans basic bitch. I don't think you call the Aryans basic bitch. I just think the Zognogs are coping. Hugh Jasper 2 says, "The EBT apocalypse, Shaquiftus revenge." Kim Jong-un for 2. Dems want food riots to usher in commie revolution. Yeah, I think the surface level politics of it all, which is of course the distrust, the fomenting of violence, the fomenting of riots, whatever it might be. I think all of that is like the surface level. But if you ask yourself, you go one step underneath that, it's like, what's the purpose for a lot of this stuff? The purpose is to demoralize, it is to fracture, it is to reduce trust in the system, and to allow for the system, the people, to be as weak as possible to have some sort of revolutionary takeover, right? I think that is kind of the point of a lot of this, because you can have the slow revolt over time, or you can, use stuff like this to foment that kind of action.
Something about accelerationism.
Kim Jong-un again says, "Why are people paying state and federal taxes when states rely on Fed taxes for welfare?" Well, listen, man, if the system made sense, it wouldn't be our system now, would it? Thank you, Kim Jong-un. Appreciate it, sir. Hugh Jasper 5 says, "Can't have a food riot when people are diabetic and have heart disease." Well, I think, I don't know what's going to happen. I kind of hope for a little while, at least, we maintain status quo in that the government stays shut down. Because if there's no benefit for society as a whole for it coming back, I know some people it's gonna suck because a lot of military personnel stop getting paid, a lot of like actual cool people stop getting paid. So I know that part I don't like. But unless there's some sort of major societal reason for it to come back, I don't want to, just put EBT back as it was before and allow, trans surgeries to be in there, and illegals get it too, and illegals get free healthcare when I have to pay like $1,000 for my healthcare or whatnot. So I think
I'm fine
status
if
quo
all
is
of
just-
those things are gone forever.
Todd and Dogs for Two says Sigurd Nog actually panhandles. I could see some Nogs panhandling for sure. Hates not hers. Hers. I don't know how to pronounce that for 5. Says if your cart is full of healthy food, like it should be, then the EBT goons should leave you alone. Well, that's the thing. They're just going to see, plastic bags or paper bags or, whatever type of bags you use. They're just going to see you as a target. And if you're a woman or you have children, you're going to be an even bigger target. So thank you for that, sir. Doomer John for 5 says oldest trick in the book: Shady Corner Store charges Snap Holder for $500 of food, gives the person $100 cash and no food. So much fraud. 100%. Yeah. I mean, they trade it openly at like 50%, right? So they'll sell $500 in Snap for $250, or for drugs, or for whatever else it might be. So yes, it is a commodity that can be traded just like anything else.
So when they're selling cash, it's 50 cents on the dollar, but when they're trading for things like dope, it is significantly less. Probably,
of course, it is. It's
to
dope.
35. Yeah,
it's dope. You think they're going to treat you fairly? Over on Ko-Fi, the Red Diacon says, I don't know if a nuke is enough to cleanse that place. I don't know. Like, we could.
There's only one way to see.
Have we tried?
We can try.
Have we even tried yet? Come on. Where's your indomitable human spirit there? We got to at least try. We're not just going to give up on cleaning up the place. Madden for 2 says, how has the Vital been performing? Well, that is going to be next on the list. So after Saturday, when I go to the match with this setup, which hopefully still works, it's maintained 0, which is important. Then I'll be running the Vital, and that should be finished up sooner rather than later. Thank you, Madden. Appreciate that, sir. That's going to be an interesting video. Huge Ass for 2 says, down to my last bar of soap. Press X to doubt. Yeah, I mean, also when you see how much money these people get a lot of the times, like $700-800. Like, so today I went to the grocery store and I bought, all the normal things that I buy, chicken, spaghetti, rice, tortillas, just kind of normal, simple food, because I eat the same thing basically every day. Total came to $136 with like some additional things in there for a week and a half's worth of food. It's not particularly expensive, and that's for me and me, my wife, and 3 children, right? So, thank you, Huge Ass. Kim Jong-un. Good.
No, I was gonna say I went to the store today and I bought a really nice meal for myself and my whole family. That's 4 people, and I had leftovers after the fact. It was about $30 for a really nice meal.
Oh yeah, I mean you can get.
It was healthy and it was good. And come on, guys.
You can get a stack of decent steaks for like $25-30, and then you put on whatever sides you want. You want some baked potatoes, you're talking like pennies on the dollar, right? Get some seasoning, some toppings, you're good to go. It's easy.
Wild.
It's cheap.
I went to the store today and I bought a bottle of moonshine and 2 sleeves of Zin. So that's my dinner.
Well, that was what, $100?
No, actually,
Zins are not cheap, are they? They're like $10
well,
a pouch.
here's the thing: they're usually like $6 a can, but I found them on sale right now for 99 cents a can. So,
time to buy a few sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
Over on Ko-Fi, the red Diacon follows up. Okay, maybe 2 nukes. Yeah, we might need 2. This might be a 2 nuke job. Kim Jong-un, speaking of nukes, says Black Queen's tats cost a lot of money. So that's another element that, because these people are, let's say, less sufficiently good at negotiating, that they often get charged more than the average person due to their bargaining skills, right? So I would not be surprised if there was actually a premium, if they actually did spend more on certain things because of that.
Well,
Officer Nate Higgers for 2 says, WTF is this monkey talking about, bro? Well, dude, that's the next thing. Next, they're going to release talking AIDS-infested monkeys into Mississippi. That's their next experiment. That hasn't dropped yet, though.
No, it did.
No, it did. It's the Bardic Psycho for 2 says, please try to rob me, black people. Well, I have it on good authority that he has a sharpened chainsaw ready to go. So I would not recommend against. I would recommend against that. While funny, wrong. McLeod 2486 for 2 says should mention that Whole Foods is a soft target. Well, the stores are a soft target, but the stores are going to go out of business like really fast, really, really fast, unless they just bump up their security. Because like if there is a run on a store and people just steal everything out like they do from time to time, and anytime there's a natural disaster, the Nike store gets hit hardest.
Deserts now. Just you wait.
It's going to be quite a bit worse, right? Because a lot of these companies, they're like, why does this one store have negative $1 million this year? We're going to close that store and move somewhere else. Because, yeah, Walmart doesn't care about you. Any of the big chain stores, they don't care about you. They just look at a spreadsheet, and if there's negative numbers on it, they get rid of it. Doomer John, member for 7 months, says her plan is to target affluent suburbs around Tampa. That was my guess, right? So go after, like, soft white people, right, rather than mess with inner city blacks and gangs. Well, I mean, they'll just tell you that you and your family are a target. Ridiculous for 2 says, thinking of the Harosan SCS MOS for my Glock 49. What say you? I think the SCSs are interesting optics. I personally don't like not having a removable battery, but they're fine. They're all right. Not my thing, but if you like it, you like it. Moonman for 5 says, Moko has commitment issues. He has abandoned his beloved P2000 for a peasant's P07.
I'm
Really?
still looking for his comments, and I cannot find them.
Isn't a P07 like the better one? Isn't that the one that everybody wants is the P07?
Yeah.
I think Moonman is just he's the eccentric taste here with the P2000. Thank you, Moonman. Appreciate that. Huge Ass for 10 says, hey, Google, pull up the diarrhea-related deaths maps. Got it right here. And overlay with the Eats with Bare Hands map. Yeah, remember, these are the same people that shove rice and raw food like all the way back into their throat with their fingers after festivals like this. And yeah.
So did you see the
it's normal.
New York communist, what's his name? The one
Mamdani,
that
Zohran Mamdani.
Yeah, Mamdani, that's it. He put out a tweet or a video where he was trying to normalize eating rice with his hands.
Yeah.
Right.
See, I'd rather not. There's canned food and there's real food.
Oh, yeah. And they always compare somebody eating like pizza, right? And they're like, see, you eat with your hands. It's like, yeah. See how we grab the dry part that's meant to be touched, right? We don't just grab the toppings like a monster and then shove it all the way back in your face. Like, slight difference. You wouldn't get it. Chud for 2 says, don't compare Gassy to these animals. Sorry about that. Andrew Webb for 5 says, I'm convinced that when the Aryans conquered India in 1400 BC, they were trolling when they forced these rituals on the local population. I think the local population was already doing it, man. Don't blame this on the Aryans. Come on.
Yeah, this is
credit
local activity if there ever was any.
Glock 17 Enjoy for 5 says, I've seen enough. Send $10 billion to Israel. You know what? For some reason, that always seems to be the politician's plan to fix problems is like, have you tried sending more money to Israel? Like, I don't know. Yeah, we tried it before, but it hasn't worked yet. Thank you. Thank you, Glock 17.
We just haven't sent enough.
If we keep on going, eventually it'll fix all our problems.
C Runner for 2 says, Planet of the Apes is just social engineering? ? Some could say predictive programming, I think is the correct term. Predictive programming. Thank you,
What was the guy's name? He got offended because they showed the one ape in the movie wearing the vest, and it was like his signature orange vest, and he's like, they're racist. I can't remember the dude's name. It was so funny because I was like, they didn't do that, and then I saw the picture. I was like, oh, they did that.
All right. Well, now we get to the main event of the evening, and maybe a few little follow-up stories as well. But here we go. So Nick Fuentes did a interview the other day with Tucker Carlson. Did really well, very positive. The reception to it, however, has been, of course, controversial, and anything Nick tends to do is controversial. and Tucker Carlson himself has been, I suppose you could say, more controversial of late because, of course, he calls out AIPAC quite a bit, and some of the other representatives and issues going around out there. And so when he had a conversation with Nick Fuentes, well, it's kind of like your boomer right conservative edgelord with your Zoomer conservative right edgelord coming together to make everybody upset. So you had like hundreds of conservative politicians and pundits coming out and disavowing Tucker Carlson for even having Nick on his show, of course, which is mega gay and lame, because I think that they are the only two people on that sphere that actually don't take money from AIPAC in some way, shape, or form, which is, of course, funny. Why is everybody yelling at Richard?
Because I found the comment.
Yeah.
Okay, what are them?
I tagged it with the star.
Emoko's strongest soldier says, when a cider supremacist calls me and my noggers the hard A, Naga, so due to the socio-jollynomic factors, I shoot up Nakatomi Plaza or something. True. That was worth it, Richard. You're that 10 minutes of your life tracking that down. You're never going to get it back.
Oh, don't worry.
You don't want to.
I didn't even track it down. They just reposted it again and then yelled at me incessantly.
All right. I was like, why is everybody yelling? Am I muted? What's going on? Too long. Didn't read. Certain people mad. Yes. There are some folks that were unhappy. But during that, I wanted to talk about this section because obviously I'm not going to react to the whole thing. But Nick Fuentes has some very kind words, or at least some generic admiration for Stalin. And I was like, whoa, what are you talking about here? That seems off. I mean, if I think of, I can't think of a more prolific Christian murderer, like a murderer of Christians in the 20th century, other than Stalin. I mean, Mao Zedong might be number 2, but
I feel like he mainly didn't kill Christians, though.
There were some in the area, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, Stalin's pretty much number 1, though, which is awkward because he persecuted the Catholic and Orthodox Church in Russia and Ukraine. So as the tweet goes, Stalin killed more Orthodox clergy than almost any man in history. He's a vile, evil man. Fuentes is retarded. Nick Fuentes admits he's a fan and admirer of Joseph Stalin. A little awkward. Under Stalin, nearly all Catholic churches in the USSR were closed, confiscated, or destroyed by the late 1930s. Thousands of Catholic priests and nuns were executed or died in labor camps. In Ukraine, over 100 Catholic priests were killed in the 1930s alone. Many Catholics ended up forced in labor camps. Most Catholic priests were shot or worked to death in these gulags. Stalin's policies caused over 20 million deaths overall, with Catholics disproportionately offended. Now, of course, the thing that Catholics and Orthodox love to do is like one-upsmanship, right? It's like, no, we were more persecuted than you. No, we were more persecuted than you. No, we were actually, it was mostly Catholic. And they say, no, it was actually mostly Orthodox, right? So I will let them.
All the Coptics are in the corner.
Well, I don't know how many Coptics were in Ukraine, but I mean, Ukraine is
I'm just talking about
Orthodox
overall.
now. Yeah. Stalin's policies caused over 20 million deaths overall, with Catholics disproportionately affected. Pope Pius is that the 9th or the 11th? I forget how to read Roman numerals because I'm retarded. Pope Pius the 11th explicitly condemned Soviet persecution in the 1937 encyclical Divini Redemptoris, citing mass executions of Catholics. Why would Nick Fuentes, who is again a practicing Catholic, why would Nick Fuentes celebrate Stalin's birthday and admire him? So here, let's just listen to the clip.
Okay. Like late December. It's actually funny. It was December 18th. I remember because that's an important date to me. And it's Joseph Stalin's birthday.
Oh.
I'm a fan.
You're a fan of Stalin's?
Mm-hmm. Always an admirer.
And I think he might be doing a bit of trolling there based upon the way that he's talking and kind of gloating about it.
Also, I have watched some of his content in the past, and he has brought this up on his show. Where
we have a full clip of him going over it.
He repeatedly goes off like, I like Stalin, he's a cool guy, which is always like,
But we don't need to go into that. I guess. Like,
let's okay, let's get back to it. We'll circle back to that.
Now, they never actually get back to it in that interview, but here's a 7-minute clip of Nick kind of explaining his admiration of Stalin And now this is weird to me because there does seem to be a level of, obviously there's an emotional like dislike that I have of Stalin, but even if you take away all the emotions about it and you just think about him like as a leader and what he did for the country and whatnot, he still seems very, very positive on his attributes and kind of.
Neither do we.
What the heck, Richard?
I have no idea. I clicked onto an ad. Apparently an ad popped up and started fucking playing. It shouldn't even have happened because I've got Brave.
Well, it can't catch all of them. They have to keep updating the ad blocker. But anyways, let's let Nick talk about his love of Stalin, or at least his admiration of Stalin, in his own words.
What is so significant about him is that he's running a dictatorship within a dictatorship. As you know, there's this cult of personality, as everybody knows. There's this totalitarian society. Stalin is the dictator of the party, and the party is the dictator of the country. So this guy, the level of power that he has is unmatched by anyone ever. It is truly a personal.
I don't really believe in that. I mean, you have kings and monarchies and emperors for, thousands of years that controlled larger, maybe not even larger because Russia is so huge, but, at the time, larger parts of the important parts of the world.
More important areas.
Yeah.
Autocracy, unlike anything that has maybe ever existed in the world in history. And what is interesting about Stalin is that he comes from the periphery of the Russian Empire. He grows up in Georgia, in the Caucasus, which is on the outskirts. And this is during a time of suppression of the Georgian language, of Georgian culture by the Tsar. So he really is this peripheral figure, and he's unremarkable. He's 5'6". He's got pock marks from smallpox when he was a kid. He walks with a limp. Like, he's physically a very unimposing, unremarkable figure. He's not a compelling speaker. He's got a very high-pitched voice. And really.
So maybe I'm just reading into this, but does Nick identify with Stalin in some of these ways? Because Nick's not particularly tall. He's not particularly like physically remarkable like some of the great leaders throughout history. He's kind of a small, weaselly, not Nick, but Stalin being kind of a small, weaselly man with not a particularly good voice or anything else like that. I mean, is Nick just kind of projecting himself onto Stalin in a weird way? And he's like, look at what this man was able to accomplish, and he wasn't very good. It's
He's
like
just like me.
I know. It's like, I mean, maybe I'm just, reading a little bit too much between the lines there.
A little bit odd.
Really a marginal character. He goes to seminary, and he was a very devout. Well, he was devout at a time. He later became an atheist. But even in his language is colored by his time in the seminary. He robs a bank famously in Tiflis in 1907 and becomes a pariah in the revolutionary movement as a criminal. So he's really this he's from the periphery of the Russian Empire. He's this unremarkable figure. He's not charismatic like a Hitler. He's not imposing like a George Washington. He is like this pariah, this outcast, and really through this.
Yeah, see, now it's lining up because Nick is also kind of the pariah outcast of like the right movement, at least for the moment, right? He's obviously insanely popular, insanely influential, but he's kind of the outside of the mainstream still, for now.
I'm just like Stalin.
I'm Stalin's top guy. Now, somebody called Nick a Nazbol, and I had no idea what a Nazbol was. I was just probably out of the loop for that, but that's a national Bolshevik. So it's like you take everything that you like from the Nazis and then everything like communist from the Bolsheviks, and you kind of merge them together. And they call you a Nazbol, National Bolshevik. And so I don't know if that's an accurate term, but that's just sounds like some wacky fan fiction people are writing up.
Just sounds more like Maoism. I don't know.
Is it just autism? It might be.
Remarkable intelligence, bureaucratic maneuvering, becomes the most powerful man in the world, really, and uses this power to transform the Soviet Union truly. And look, Stalin killed many people. There's
there's always that little but in there. It's like he transformed his country. It's like, well, I mean,
yeah, 20 million.
It's a rounding error of dead people. I mean, I wouldn't even say that Stalin was the most powerful person in the world. Like, that seems silly to me. I mean, obviously taking on Nazi Germany and holding the Eastern Front for as long as he did with the help of many other people. But
did they really, or did they get so much help from everybody else?
Yeah,
because they just kind of threw a bunch of people and had the highest death count.
Well, they would win the war of attrition just by simply having the most people, right? So I'm not sure, but most powerful person in the world. See, that's where I'm like, there seems to be some weird honorifics going on here, where he's like kind of building up Stalin as more than he was. Like, I mean, Stalin obviously was an incredibly powerful person, and he had to have some sort of political machination skills to get him where he was. And he was certainly, for lack of a better term, the king of his party and the king of the country, basically, like total power within Russia. So much so that people were afraid to even like, when he was on his deathbed after having a stroke, they wouldn't even go into him at all. And he just died by himself, basically, because people were too afraid to even go in or talk to him or try and help or anything else like that. So he literally died, stroked out on his bed, just like me.
His doctor had to be pulled away from being tortured to go see him because they thought that he thought that the doctor was against him, basically plotting a coup, blah blah blah. But yeah, the doctor was actively being tortured and had to stop the torture to bring him in.
There's no question he's an evil figure in history. He suppresses religion. Millions die in the collectivization of the farms, of agriculture. He kills
mostly, poor rural Christians in the Ukraine, but we'll just gloss over that, I guess. That's a little footnote there. We'll talk about that.
Probably directly millions of people in the purges, sentence them to death by execution or in the gulags, and uses the slave labor to industrialize Russia. Like, he is a brutal figure, no doubt about it. And yet, truly a great man of history in multiple ways. One, at the end.
Now, when he's talking about great man of history, he's not saying that he was a great man, because he acknowledges the wrong things that Stalin did, obviously, but you just look at it objectively, like he was an incredibly important, influential person. Top 5 of the era, for sure. Maybe number 3. Probably number 3 for the era.
He's one of the main guys for modern history.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And from that time span, because, I mean, without Stalin, you wouldn't have gotten the Cold War, you wouldn't have got the USSR, you wouldn't have gotten the fall, you wouldn't have gotten all of that stuff that happened post-World War II. And we certainly wouldn't be where we are today without Stalin doing that. So, I mean, when you call him influential, like, certainly top 2, top 3 most influential people of that time period.
End of the day, what he did, it worked. He took Russia from a backwards agrarian serf economy, a sclerotic autocracy run by the Tsar, into a world empire. His 5-year plans, they worked. Yes, millions died.
To me, it's just silly. It's like you keep going back and forth a little bit. It's like we had a more feudal society under the Tsar. Sure, it wasn't as modernized. Sure. To fix that, we murdered 20 million people and forced industrialization at gunpoint. It's like, I don't know if that's better, right?
And was industrialization helped by his actions, or was it hindered? That's another conversation that you could have.
Right, and you can't play it both ways and say, well, look, under Stalin, look how modern they got. Well, it's like, well, you removed the other option from play, so you can't just say that it still wouldn't have happened to some degree under the Tsars, right? Now, I'm not saying that the Tsars didn't have their own issues and were not absolutely retarded, but part of me is like, I think a Tsar Russia would be a little bit cooler than what we have now, for sure. Also, not murdering 20 million Christians in Ukraine would also be cool, too.
Yeah, if you look at the industrialization of the USSR, Soviet Union, we kind of helped them out quite a bit as America. They really were struggling, and we had to give them quite a bit of insight and resources to get them started initially. So,
well, and they had all their satellite states as well that they imposed will over for a long, long period of time until that started to break up. Shadowbeard says that Stalin was diabolical, and the fact that he did everything that Hitler did, but the rest of the world aligned with him to fight Germany, boggles the mind. And that is called marketing, sir. Marketing and propaganda. That Russia is the good guys during World War II, right? And the other guys, they're the bad guys because we labeled them as the heckin' bad guys, even though after the war, the rapes and murders and pillaging that Russia embarked upon in Germany and other places is absolutely atrocious, and nobody talks about that at all. And even what did Patton himself said, we fought the wrong enemy, should have marched all the way to Moscow. Tend to agree with him, but yeah. Listen, guys, I wrote it in the history book that the good guy won, okay? All right?
Yes, it required sacrifice. That's a euphemism, I guess, what you could call it. It was a genocide, essentially. But it worked. By prioritizing heavy machinery, by prioritizing factories, defense equipment, Russia industrializes. He drags Russia out of the 19th century, or really the 18th century, into the 20th century. They acquire an atomic bomb. They
yeah.
How did they do
that? Because Jews in America sold the secrets to them or smuggled it out of America. Communist Jews did, and then they got executed.
Well, where did America get it from?
The Germans.
Operation Paperclip.
Well, I mean, of course, yeah, Operation Paperclip. But I mean, even before then, right? But yeah, it's everybody just steals it from everybody. Okay, it's all IP theft at the highest level. It's all IP theft.
Defend
100%.
Russia against Hitler. Then that was the inevitable conflict, was Germany rising. That's really the story, is German unification in the 1870s. And they become the hegemon of continental Europe and then challenge Britain. And so the question is, how does this resolve? This Soviet Union as a rising power, Nazi Germany, and the Soviet Union wins. He defends the Soviet Union against Germany.
I mean, that's kind of an oversimplification. I mean, you're technically correct that they did win.
They were on the winning side, but I wouldn't necessarily say that they won.
I believe he's...
How did you type without typing anything? It is just a blank chat. There's actually nothing there. How did you do that?
Spacebar?
Can you type a spacebar? There's nothing there. I've never seen that before. Anyways, sorry, continue. Now they're all doing it. Gosh dang.
Well, they're showing you how.
I guess, is it just spacebar? What happened? Wow, everybody is doing it. John
guys, YouTube is glitching out right now.
Guys, I can't see your chats right now. My bad.
He industrializes the Soviet Union, nuclearizes the...
Also, I do have to say, I hate it when people give Russia credit for taking out Hitler. Listen, Hitler took out Hitler. Okay, like he's the guy who did it. You should be praising Hitler for taking out Hitler. Okay, he was the only man strong enough to do it.
I really just want to shake the guy who killed Hitler's hand and say what a great job he did.
Great attempt, sir.
Soviet Union, and so you look at Russia when Stalin enters the scene in 1928 is when he consolidates power. Lenin dies in 24. By 1928, power. Stalin has consolidated power. You look at the Soviet Union in 1928
interesting way of saying
versus 1953 when he dies. It's unquestionable, his effect on the country and on the world. Whatever you think. I mean,
I think he might, other than Mao, again, I think he might be the most successful communist dictator because I think he had the longest run, because usually the dictators just get overthrown, or their people rebel, or they flee to a Western nation, or they get hung up in the streets. Usually that's like how they end. So, I mean, as far as like being the most successful communist dictator, it's either him or Mao.
Castro?
Yeah, but Cuba's not a world player, dude. Cuba's an affront to humanity. You know, it's only important because of its relatively close nature to the United States mainland. That's it. That's all. That's the only reason why Cuba's important at all.
And cigars.
Sugarcane.
Yeah.
Obviously an evil figure, but truly remarkable. And they tell the story about him. They say, oh, well, he got beat up by his dad, and that's why he was evil. There's no evidence.
Yeah, but North Korea is just a buffer state for China. Like, I mean, really. What is North Korea if not just a buffer state for China?
So
it's
something I found interesting.
what do you call it? It's a proxy state. It's a proxy state that China can use to do things without having to do it themselves. Just
China
like we have many other
North
proxy
Korea
states
to create fake U.S. currency. The best currency, the most what is it? The word I'm looking for? The hardest to detect of the forgeries come out of North Korea.
Interesting. Now, what's funny is talking about South and North Korea for a second. South Korea wins North Korea wins in the long run, like inevitably. If you look at South Korea's birth rate, it's at like 0.9, 1.1. Like South Korea will not exist in 3 generations, whereas North Korea under totalitarian regimes has a higher birth rate than Western. South
they may
Korea,
be starving.
Right? Decadent South Korea. Doesn't matter. They have kids. They win.
But they will have kids. You know, it's like it's like Africans. It's like they may be starving, but they do multiply.
Have you seen what public transportation is in North Korea?
Everybody's sitting
and waiting on the bus until the bus gets full, and then the strongest guys push the bus.
All right, that sounds like some South Korean propaganda right there, sir. As if they don't have transportation. Come on, man. Yeah, everybody knows I'm Kim Jong-un's
Fred Flintstoned
biggest fan.
They cut out holes in the bottom of the bus, and they all ran.
Where'd you get that story from? Babylon Bee. All right.
Evidence of this: he was a poet. He was actually a poet, a sensitive young man. He called himself Koba. That was his pen name. Yeah. So I'm getting into some of the revision.
Sounds gay. Has a pen name, a poet, Stalin. Sounds a little gay.
History by Grover Furr. I got put onto that by Academic Agent. Just interesting from an academic point of view. I always thought Stalin was far more fascinating than Hitler and Napoleon, but that's just me personally.
Last night had a pretty good monologue.
Somebody says this dude's admiration for Stalin is fucked up. Dude, you wouldn't get it. It's like anything. I mean, are we intelligent? Are we mature? Are we grown-ups? I feel the same way about Hitler. I feel the same way about a lot of these figures. In some sense, you can say this about Netanyahu.
Well, so I get what he means here. You don't need to be emotional about when you talk about world leaders, right? So, like, pick any dictator throughout history, any great man. Like, I don't know, you could really hate Alexander the Great for some reason because you're an Indian or something and you're really upset that he like conquered you or something. But taking the emotion out of it, you can just recognize the effect that they had on history. So I get that. Even somebody like Netanyahu, and who's hated by his own people and will probably be remembered, I don't know, for controlling the Western world, for lack of a better term, lack of a better phrase.
Remember that
into
one time
getting Israel's doing, like, for the better part of 50 years, 40 years. So I mean, Netanyahu will be remembered for sure, as long as the state of Israel's around. For sure, is one of the. It expanded under him. It's has military dominance over the region through itself and through foreign influence. I mean, yeah.
So
is Netanyahu evil? Yeah.
What's up?
What if I told you that this Netanyahu isn't the Netanyahu that was supposed to actually be prime minister and leader of Israel? His older brother was originally supposed to be the golden child, but he was killed in a raid. Some hijackers hijacked an airplane. They sent in.
I've heard this one before.
Yes, and there was one casualty that day, and it was the older Netanyahu brother.
Well, I mean, it's also interesting how I don't know how their government works entirely, but prime minister, whatever leader, right before Netanyahu was assassinated very publicly, and then everybody came out and said it was totally Netanyahu, and then we all just ignore that.
Right.
Yes. But there is no question he is a remarkable figure. There is no question he is the man of history. Look at what he has done, how he's transformed the Middle East. He's absolutely evil. He's absolutely diabolical. But you have to be able to separate the ruthlessness, the evil from They're evil geniuses. Does Hitler contain a genius? Does a Stalin, does a Netanyahu contain a genius? Yes. You know, and there's obviously more admirable figures. I think George Washington is far more admirable in terms of his character, in terms of his decency. Like, you know, if I were to pick a North Star, a true, you know, who has both characters.
No, not the North Star, Lena. No North Star talk in this chat, please. Please.
Characteristics, a good man and a man of history, I would say George Washington. Truly a good man, a true beast of a man, a true hero, and also a man of history. But also not as much of a genius as Stalin in some ways, you know. Like with Hitler, you have to understand these men are also shaped by the time. I mean, of course, Stalin being a communist contributes a great deal to his evilness, but at the same time, it's like he was extremely paranoid. Well, he was probably right to be. I mean, I'm sure everybody was trying to kill him. The West was trying to destroy. Yeah.
I think Nick's probably a little bit paranoid as well at times, and also probably for good reason.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, I mean, the guy did show up to his house
twice.
Moonman for 5 says Fuentes is very gay, not my right wing. He's not even white. It's true. They did separate out Italians and whites in the EBT stat. I saw it. Moonman again for 5 says him going off about how he hates the working man, his obsessive defense of a boy, a groomer, brown people in his inner circle, him being a bean, past tense. All right, Moonman. That's why Nick is concerned right there. Ethan from Texas for 5 says, are there any good modern double stack 45 handguns? No. Was looking at the FNX 45T and can barely find any duty style holsters for it. I wonder why. But no, but the modern 45 pistols shouldn't exist. It should quite literally not be a thing. So
it's an oxymoron.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just by 40 cal, if you want to go up, I guess.
I guess, yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
If you want to shoot a boomer caliber, just grab a single stack 1911 dog. Call it a day, okay? You want your gay fix? There you go. There's plenty of holsters for those. Thank you.
Buy a USP.
Appreciate it. All right, USP, yeah. Moonman for 5 says, as someone who enjoys friendship, windmill politics, Nazbol is straight up weird Twitter 4chan-tism. It's not a real ideology. Scientology is more valid. There we go. I need a South Park episode on Nazbol. Sheepharder for 2 says, great men in history are rarely good men. Yes, true, of course. Indeed. Moonman for 5 says, Mao is a better example of achieving things because the Soviets would forever live off of American grain or industry. The Slav needs the white man. Yeah, Slavs are not white either. That's true. We've cut them off of the white totem pole. Thank you, Moonman.
American grain, most of the world's grain is produced in Ukraine, if I'm not mistaken, and has been for quite some time.
The breadbasket of Europe, almost why they were all systematically killed. McLeod 2486 for 5 says it's called infiltrators. The 30s was the red decade for a reason. Stalin sympathizers were in FDR's cabinet. Fruities is a useless idiot. I think that McCarthyism simply did not go far enough, and we should have completely forcefully emigrated these people to certain countries in South Africa. Thank you for that, McLeod. Appreciate that, sir. Moonman for 5 says Fuentes is a moron. Still liking Fuentes is like still liking Milo or Junko jeans. It means that you are a MiG-15. Oh, that rhymed. There you go. Maybe you're a soft little poet, Moonman, and you're going to go under a pen name of Moonman and write literature and then become a communist dictator someday. You know, you're already on the path. You have a lot of the foundation building blocks already there, Moonman. Subarctic Psycho for 2 says, left you a nice super chat on Ko-Fi. You did not. That is a lie. Your super chat was very nice. Or sorry, very mean. Huge ass on Ko-Fi says, never trust a man who's had a penis in his mouth or his penis in a man's mouth. Nick Fuentes, Twinge Grenade, and Hawkeye. Ouch! Whoa! Huge ass. Subarctic Psycho says, John, you gay cider slurping son of a bitch. I'm going to shave your kneecaps off with a cheese grater. Not in Minecraft, in real life. Eggnog overall, you are a fago, John. Wow. Very violent. I would prefer my kneecaps not be shaved off with a cheese grater. That sounds most unpleasant, but I do appreciate the kind words.
It'll be one of those foot peeler things.
Oh, so I am not interested in the feet stuff. That's Richard's job. And Sea Runner says Pentagon ordered NG to create quick National Guard to create quick reaction units. No, they're going to need it, right? Because if food stamps does get cut off, you are going to see food riots. Because again, whether you think that the whole system should be abolished and all of its abuses and excesses, right, doesn't matter. When people are hungry, they will do a lot to make it not that way. And these people have a groupthink mentality. There are hordes and hordes of them, and they will they'll eat one way or the other, or meet a certain end. So thank you, Sea Runner. I appreciate that.
You have to put yourself in his mind. It's not to excuse what he did, but it is to say, like with the Hitler, it's not so black and white. You're not ready for this. Some people are not ready for that. Some people are not ready for that conversation. And I just think the world's a complicated place. You could say the same thing about Hamas. You could say the same thing about Iran. You could say the same about Mao Zedong. You could say it about Netanyahu. You could say it about a lot of these people. And I would say I would say that for a lot of those people, there's not a lot that I admire. Well, I certainly think that there are things that you can take away from very powerful, influential people that you do consider to be evil, right? Especially from a historical context. You know, how did they get to power? What conditions led to their rise? All of these sort of factors can be really interesting to look at from an academic perspective, or to kind of understand and rationalize the current world in which we live in. But there's not a lot. There's not a lot, or almost nothing, that I actually admire about any one of those people or individuals.
Yeah, they're interesting, not admirable.
Yeah, interesting is the better word, right? And I mean, I would even say like useful in a certain context, right? If you want to understand the world around you, you kind of have to look at how it got here, which means looking at some of these powerful, influential people. Is that America and Western civilization is truly set apart in that way. I think that we truly are exceptional in that regard. The kind of evil that you see in the communists and really I think it derives more from them being Asian, to tell you the truth. You know, human life is just more expendable there. But even compared to the Muslims, the Jews, I think that that's where the Europeans, because we have the church, are truly remarkable. Yeah, I agree with that end statement. And there are certainly places, other places in the world where human life does not have the same level of value as it does in the Western world. For sure.
Don't ask my grandfather his thoughts on Asians.
Don't ask me.
Didn't he commit a genocide?
That is what they say.
He didn't commit a genocide?
Oh, this is Nick defending the Holodomor. All right. Yes, interesting take for a quote unquote white Christian man to defend the Holodomor committed by Joseph Stalin and his party. That's interesting. Interesting.
Didn't he commit a genocide?
Also, I believe the female in this interview is Pearl.
Yes.
And she's a retard. So
yeah.
Nick might look very smart in this interview, but it is because Pearl is a retard.
Didn't he commit a genocide?
That is what they say.
He didn't commit a genocide?
Well, I mean, I don't know, but
what do you mean you don't?
There's a lot of dispute about, was it intentional? Was it overstated?
How do you unintentional?
It was an oopsie. Okay, you know, every now and again, as a communist dictator with ultimate power, as Nick said, you just commit a little oopsie and 20 million people die. I don't know how it happened. All right, it just happened.
They all just so happen to be Christians that didn't agree with me.
Yeah, as I was persecuting the church and needed to remove them so that I could industrialize the nation by force. I mean,
well, when you take all of the farmers out of the fields and you send them off to the fields to die in war, and then you take the people from the cities and you say, here, run this farm.
Yeah,
that tends to happen.
Intentionally committed genocide.
Because he didn't really when they say it's a genocide, they say that what happened was he collectivized agriculture in Ukraine.
Okay.
So instead of having all these independent small farmers, he wanted the government to own large farms.
Mm-hmm.
See, you can't have it both ways, though. You can't say that Stalin was the ultimate powerful dictator, the most powerful man in the world, and then be
Super
like, oh, well,
guy.
He didn't mean for it to happen. It just kind of did. We just kind of accidentally starved 20 million people. It was just, we just kept taking away all of their food and then they starved. It's like boiling Indians to try to turn them into Japanese people. Like you do it a couple times, it's funny, it's like whatever. You do it 100 times, at some point you just enjoy doing it.
Hey, it worked in that TV commercial from Korea.
Did it?
Did you never see that?
No, I don't think I have. I'm going to continue this clip though.
It's been a long time since I read up on the Soviet history, but so he went in there and forced agriculture to be.
Okay, first off, why would you ever be taking advice from a woman? Right. I think it's funny that Nick went on this podcast because I think Nick made fun of her for being a mud shark, as they say.
Collectivized with these brutal 5-year plans, really high quotas, and it, didn't really work, and a lot of people starved and died from it. And so people.
Now that's in contrast to his earlier statements from just a couple days ago or a while ago, saying that the brutal 5-year plans absolutely did work. So he's trying to have it both ways. So when he's getting pressed on it, he backs off a little bit. And then when he's on his own show alone, just kind of monologuing, he's a little bit more boisterous, right? He's a little bit more forthcoming maybe in what he actually thinks.
People then say, well, that was intentional. They were trying to kill all the Ukrainians. And I don't know if it was intentional. And I think maybe it's overstated how many people died.
And he was an American? He was in Stalin. You said he was from Georgia?
From the country, Georgia.
I was like, he was an American? No, okay.
Oh, no.
Damn it.
Yeah. Which is like the point is, it was like on the outskirts of.
You said he was from Georgia?
So he was really just kind of like an unimpressive guy. He was like 5'6". He walked with a limp. He was pockmarked. He was a criminal. He committed this like robbery on a train, which he was very ashamed of. And he was from the periphery of the empire. He didn't even speak Russian. He spoke Georgian. He was like a Georgian nationalist. And then after the revolution became the dictator and single-handedly took Russia and turned it into a superpower. There were a lot of casualties, no doubt.
Yeah, he's like, he starts doing the praise thing. He's like, okay, but listen, I know some people died. All right. I'm not discounting that, but the power though, the power that he was able to, the things he was able to accomplish with ultimate power though, loved it.
He accomplished so much, and he was short, and he had a weird voice.
I'm Stalin's top guy. He needs me. Oh no, what am I gonna do? Yeah, she can vote. Tragic.
Russia was like a farm country, and it turned into the number one superpower in the world.
Okay.
After World War II.
Number one.
So.
Number one. No, that's just wrong. It's
number
just wrong,
one.
Though.
That's.
One of us had nukes and the other one didn't until they stole the nukes via the Rosenbergs, of course. So no, it's just wrong.
And then even then we had better nukes and more nukes. What are we talking about?
We were always
here?
better. We were always better than Slavs. Let's be real here. Let's make it racist. We were better than the Slavs. I'll be real.
That's a take I've never heard. I've never heard that take.
Wow.
He gave great mustache rides. All right, Andy Owamo. That's too far. All right. Moonman for 5 says, if you call me a poet again, Focus, I will remove the middle part of your toes and soothe the bit with the nail right by the foot to make it look weird. Well, if you do that, then my days as a foot model will be numbered, and that would be a tragic loss to my income, sir. And I would be very sad. Be very sad if that happened to my feet. I have beautiful feet. Not that you'll ever see them, but I have beautiful feet. Chudvane says, the modern Minuteman is fighting Nappas in the Walmart parking lot, just how the founding fathers intended. 48 hours. 48 hours until the 1st of November. Operation Napa Down commences. 48 hours. Hope you're all ready. Absolute Moonman for 5 says, I'm issuing chargebacks if I keep seeing Fuentes. Also, Richard, the thing I made you. Oh. Thank you, Moonman. Excuse me. Oh, you want me to see that commercial? Focus Trip Skibbity Toilet Riz?
Skibbity Toilet Riz? Okay.
Says, Richard, ignore Moonman. Trench with Hearts. That was very short-lived, but thank you very much for that Skibbity Toilet Riz. All right, now I have to click on a racist laundry commercial.
It's hilarious.
Look at what these people are making me do.
You'll love it. This is a real commercial.
That is a black man, not an Indian. I'll have you know.
Nah. Just
If only they were that simple.
We definitely need the Sam Hyde boiling Indians bit as a clip.
Yeah, this is
Armed
the opposite.
Panda would say that she's cute. I mean, she's not terrible looking. She looks fine.
Got the yellow fever.
Yellow fever. Oh no, sir! I need to shove you in my laundry machine. Make sure you no black no more. Oh,
Well, see,
Mama be so disappointed
it's
in
deceptive
me.
though, because she could be 26 or 62.
Yeah, that's the thing too. With enough makeup, all things are possible. All things are possible with enough makeup.
But yeah, I thought you might like that. And
Where
there's
can I buy
also
one?
It's a really good
the
washer.
washing machine or the never mind. There's also another wild story in the side chat for you if you want to check that out, or if you want to.
Where is this machine sold? Where can I buy one?
Asia.
How many can I order?
Uh,
Is there a limit?
Depends on what country and religion.
Richard for 5 says, sorry, Moonman for 5 says, Richard, anime girl thing I made for you also have Chud killed. Yes, we will be working on the Chud Eliminator soon. We're trying to get it up and running, but once the Chud Eliminator is ready, we will get working on that. Mitzvot for 3 on Ko-Fi says, nice Nick looking up to Stalin and saying the Jews control. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, let me restart that because I'm getting a little retarded past 2 hours. Mitz says Nick looking up to Stalin and saying the Druze control us is concerning. H-Man was completely against Bolshevism, and it was a Jewish coup to overtake the Christian czars. True. His double speak is highly concerning and needs to be called out for the inconsistency. Also, Optic ship 1. It's already shipped. Mitzvot, your Optic is already on its way. I don't have it anymore. I have a tracking number around here somewhere, which I can send to you, but the Optic is already on its way to you, good sir.
Just post it live.
Yeah, I'll just post your address live, and then I'll see who picks up your package first. How about that?
Porch Pirates.
Focus Strip Skibbity Toilet Riz for 2 says Richard, ignore him again. Trench with hearts. All right, they're fighting it out now. Mom, Dad are fighting again, and I don't like it. All right, so Richard, you just shared this with me, so I have no context on this whatsoever.
This is when I was trying to click on this earlier, this is what popped up, a fucking Granger ad. But yeah, I thought this would be a lighter note to end the stream on. 121 people killed in a police raid.
I mean, they're Brazilian.
Moonman for 5 says, Richard, anime girl of your choice, make Skibbity pay more if he wants to challenge me. All right, so the bar has been set at $5.01 to change the avatar. All right, so back to anime girl, Moonman, or Richard. There we go.
There's so many I have to choose.
Even wants Luti, who I have no idea who that is. Sorry, the light spore. I'll refund you if you want, but the bar has been set to $5.01 to change the avatar. Thank you, the light spore. I appreciate it. All right. At least 21 dead in Brazil after the largest, most lethal police raid in Rio de Janeiro. 121 people killed in a police raid. At least 121 people were killed in Brazil in the deadliest police operation targeting organized crime and drug trafficking in Rio de Janeiro's history, Brazil's military police told ABC News on Wednesday. At least 56 people were arrested in the operation. They killed double the amount of people that they arrested.
Almost triple.
I mean,
yeah,
that might be based.
We're about to find out. The operation was carried out on Tuesday, but military, police, and Brazilian sources told ABC News they expected the death toll from the operation to climb on Wednesday. The operation was carried out in various neighborhoods in the Rio de Janeiro province, including Complexo de Alemo and Penha, military police said. The operation was intended to target criminal gang drug trafficking activity in the area. About 2,500 people from multiple police forces were involved in the operation. That's a mini war right there.
Yes.
2,500 people fighting, 120 dead. That's a mini war right there. And some armored vehicles were used to conduct the operation, police said. On Wednesday, dead bodies from the operation were lined up on the ground for families to identify them, a source in Brazil told ABC News.
Yeah,
That's
they laid them
dark.
out in the street.
Yeah. You want come get your boy. He's dead on the ground. Yikes.
Yeah, they say it was for identifying, but it was also to send a message. Because if you see later on,
I bet
the cops were high-fiving and wild.
This is the deadliest. Well, I have some footage actually from Mr. Guns and Gear, which might get the stream nuked, but you know, we're 2.5 hours in. This is the deadliest police operation ever carried out in Rio de Janeiro state. Police said the state government said the operation was the largest ever, targeting Commando Vermelho gang for drug trafficking. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, again, these are just fake made-up names for me to read out on stream, is shocked by the number of deaths in the operation and surprised that an operation of this scale was undertaken without the federal government's knowledge or involvement.
Yeah.
You want to tell me they got 2,500 officers together and didn't tell the federal government? Either one, you're lying on it and you were in on it the whole time, but you're trying to save face, or two, you're corrupt and said they just didn't tell you and they decided to do it anyways.
I'm going to go with the latter because the local police are fed up with all of the violence and stuff. So now they're saying, yeah, we'll be the more violent ones for one day.
I mean,
and
the
then
local
we'll
police
we'll
could
take
be
it all back.
corrupt too.
Well, that's very, very possible. But to get 2,500 corrupt ones together at the same time while the other ones.
Have you not seen our government?
Yeah, we've got 480 something.
Yeah, you can get quite a few together pretty easily.
Yeah, but to get them all in the same place at the same time like that for a raid, that's a challenge.
So the operation, let me continue here. The operation comes ahead of a major global events that are being hosted in Brazil in the coming weeks. Next week, Rio will host the C40 Summit of Global Mayors and Prince William's Earthshot Prize. Global Mayors and Prince William's Earthshot Prize. Earthshot Prize or Earthshot Prize? That just sounds retarded. Bringing notable celebrities to the region. 4 U.S. citizens arrested during the ICE crackdown on in the report. Don't really care. The Secretary General is gravely concerned by the large number of casualties during the police operation conducted yesterday in the favelas in Rio de Janeiro. He stresses that the use of
who died.
Yeah, I mean, if you're telling me 121 gangbangers met their end at police violence in the area, I mean, these are crummy, terrible areas to be hanging out in, so I don't know if I actually feel that bad. He stresses that the use of force in police operations must adhere to international human rights law and standards and urges the authorities to undertake a prompt investigation. Well, let me see here. I want to police raid. I'm going to see if they have a news report on this real fast. Talk amongst yourselves, gents.
So, the weather.
I was going to say nice background.
Is Al Jazeera good or not?
Al Jazeera, it's 50-50. It depends on what part of the world they're reporting on.
Why does Times of India have a video out?
Because Times of India covers everything.
Well, this one here from France 24 English says the death toll has risen to 132.
Yeah, they said that they expected the death toll to continue to rise for the next day or two.
It's a gruesome lineup on a main road of Complexo de Penha, one of Rio's largest favelas. These residents lay out the lifeless bodies of their neighbors a day after the bloodiest anti-gang operation in the city's history. The raid mobilized 2,500 law enforcement officers to combat the territorial expansion of Comando Vermelho, Rio's main criminal organization.
Speaking of hell on earth, these cities and favelas, that just sounds like a nightmare. Like packed in like sardines with just everything you have to deal with there.
Look at the airport.
Which operates in these densely populated work.
The airport on the island, away from everybody else.
And the definitive line where the trash starts.
Yeah.
In class
What a gross place.
Is that just them taking a body out of a car to drop it on the ground?
I think it was a couple.
In these densely populated working class neighborhoods, while police raids are frequent, Tuesday's operation was shocking in its scale and human toll. Some residents denounced what they called executions.
The government paid for this, to carry out this massacre. They have to pay for it. They can't destroy so many lives, so many families, and get away with it.
Is that right? What kind of operation is this? What has changed? Did they introduce...
It looks like we have some EBT benefiters in the background here. How are people so poor and live in such terrible conditions and still manage to be like hundreds of pounds overweight?
Any sports, any studies, anything to improve the lives of young people? They haven't changed anything.
Tuesday, a steady stream of vehicles arrived at these hospital doors, carrying bodies and those wounded by gunfire. The right-wing governor of Rio State initially announced that 60 criminals had been neutralized, but state police now count more than 100 people killed, including several police officers.
Yesterday, we delivered a hard blow to crime, showing that we are capable of winning battles, capable of playing our part.
So this is the thing that I always find funny about South America is the lowest castes or the lowest levels of societies tend to be the darker skinned natives or Africans. And then you always, in positions of power, it's almost a much higher Spanish influence than anything else. Like this is a very, very, all the people in power are almost exclusively light skinned.
We also have the humility and certainty to recognize that this war will not be won alone.
According to this opposition politician, Governor Claudio Castro's policy treats the favelas as enemy territory where a license to kill prevails. He has requested an emergency meeting with the Minister of Justice.
Listen, having fought through there in 2009, I can tell you that was a miserable place full of criminals.
United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights said he was horrified and called for swift
tomato. They're all Mediterraneans to me.
Investigations.
Okay. Well, so this is some of the police action going on. Let me minimize this so YouTube doesn't murder me.
Hopefully they don't.
Are those FNCs?
I believe.
Or is that a 553? What am I looking at here?
It could be a Galil. Yeah.
That's a lot of different everything. They are not standardized.
Not when you have 2,500 officers together from, different places, favelas, personal weapons. They're not like us. Yep, that looks like a war zone.
That was actually a video of before.
So these guys look like military, and the other guys look like, I don't know if they have probably a delineation between their SWAT and their like normal police officers, but these guys look like SWAT or military.
So if it's like other countries, we fund a large portion of their anti-drug police forces.
Mm-hmm. I see a lot of standard M4. Well, actually, what is that? That might be a Type 91.
That's the. I think that might be the Rhodesian FAL.
No, the ARs. I think those might be T91s.
The one had a carrying handle on it.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a variety of M16s and M4s.
No, like the FAL style carrying handle.
Oop, wrong button. Wrong button.
Chiquita
Okay,
banana.
we gotta Mr. Guns and Gear real fast because I know he had a clip of it up as well, where a guy was literally just mag dumping on a two-way range, so to speak. Here we go.
Have you printed up a Chiquita sticker yet for your prop in the background there?
No, I need to. That'd be funny. Reportedly, over 130 people have been killed over the last 48 hours in Rio de Janeiro as BOPE has been going after members of the Red Command. Related note, it's not every day you see a two-way range full auto mag dump with a scoped rifle. Where did those bullets go? No idea. That was a lot of rounds downrange. I mean, suppressive fire works, of course, to move and shoot and do all that sort of fun stuff. But I mean, for all those people living in those areas, like I genuinely feel bad.
They're not living there no more.
Yeah.
The scope on that thing is wild.
He was getting shot at. Well, that is probably your dad's 4-16 Cabela's special right there. And it's really blurry, but I think he might have an offset dot on there as well.
Yeah.
I'll have
a lot of the builds.
Amazon special is a 5-25.
Yeah.
A lot of the builds I've seen out of Brazil are just straight up Amazon optics on crappy ARs. So
100%. Whatever they can get their hands on.
I mean, you work with what you got, I guess. But
hey, glass is better than no glass.
Well, I mean, and it's in the dark too. I don't even know if he's looking through it, right? I think he knows that they're shooting at him from a building, and he takes a few shots, and then it's like, screw it, I'm going.
If he is looking through it, he's not holding a sight picture. It's
no,
yeah, that eye box is probably not very forgiving.
Yeah, men can have hobbies. Come on, relax. Skibbity Toilet Riz says, Richard, we already did that one. I think we did that one. The light spore for $5.88. I forget what he asked for though. I think it was Punish Focus. So it's $5.88.
Yes.
Chud McGill for 5 says she's bad, but unfortunately I have to date the white to save the race. Be nice to Mitzvah TV. Also, what's this device to destroy me? Richard Gassy. I'm sorry, the bid is at $5.89 now, Chud. But no, don't worry. The Chud Eliminator, don't worry about it. That doesn't have anything to do with you. It's just designed to specifically, eliminate Chuds. I don't know about that.
What if he adds $1 to that $4.99?
I mean, that would count. But Melissa Meter for 10 says, Rich, my boy, tort focus, please. Does he mean tortured focus? Why are there so many different focuses that I have to deal with? Thank you, Melissa. It's like my evil clones from the Antiverse that come to haunt me, and I have to defeat them one by one. Fortunately, it'll be quite easy, as I know my own weaknesses. Thank you, Melissa Demeanor. Appreciate that. I'm just going to overdose them on White Monster. Moonman for 5 says, my army buddy wanted us to learn Portuguese to join their militarized police when we got out of the army. I'm not learning gay Spanish. This is Kino. I mean, would you rather go to Mogadishu or Rio de Janeiro? That's the question.
Both of them are preferable options compared to the Poop Festival in India.
That is true.
All right, this guy, Lena Michelik's North Starfish on Ko-Fi says, the cheaper the food, the worse it is typically. I mean, no, you can eat steaks for $9 a pound, or even less in some cases. But you go to Taco Bell and you spend $12 and you're still hungry. So, I mean, I wouldn't say, like, Whole Foods are the way to go. And Whole Foods are not particularly expensive.
Yeah, you could meal prep and make your own food, and it is better, healthier, and you get more of it for your
I do have a alternative, and I want to hear what you guys think about this. But I have a wife, and she cooks so much and all the time. It is so nice. It is wonderful. I never have to cook anymore. It's always just, hey, can you make me this? Can you make me that? And she does. It's wonderful. It's excellent.
Yeah, you just gotta find one first. That's the issue.
Cooking, so
Well, but my wife was upset because not only it's like I have a wife, I have a dishwasher, I have all these other people, and she's just upset that there's so many different women in the house. It's
you're
like,
being
come on,
redundant, sir.
Melissa, well, I was joking because I have multiple women in the house. One that I have a cook. I have
You have a wife that you have a dishwasher. You're again.
Yes,
you're
but
being
they're
redundant.
the again the
I didn't
point
know
was
you
that
were
they were
Muslim.
different women. I'm Mormon. It's
Mormon.
different.
Slightly better.
What am I looking up here? Miller's demeanor. He says, "Focus. Look up vids of the jungle Mexicans, Venezuelans. You're all Mexicans to me. You're Mexican. AA drills.
Oh, is this the one where they were the overweight women?
Oh no. I mean, this looks cool. Give me audio. No audio? What? I mean, it looks cool. It's like, oh yeah, that looks like the 1980s right there. Peak 1975 technology. Random helicopter. Okay. F-22 is hungry. Okay, F-22s have been dying.
It doesn't even
for
take an
kills.
F-22. Do
No,
you
no,
remember
no,
when
no,
a
no,
cruise ship?
no. They are dying for kills. F-22s are hungry for aces. Okay, they have been dying to actually take out aircraft with their F-22s. Okay, and F-35s. They are so hungry. They are salivating at whatever heap Venezuela can get in the air. Okay, so just they're hungry. Let them feed. Okay, they can have a helicopter as a treat.
The Venezuelan Navy went up against precisely one vessel, and it was a leisure cruise ship that sunk the Venezuelan Navy vessel.
I guess I could right into it. Yeah. I mean, I wish there was audio. I don't know if it would make it any better. But it's like, you got some vehicles. You look like a Rio de Janeiro police force to me. I honestly don't see a lot of difference. Look fine. Are these the anti-air drone or anti-air drill in question that you wanted me to look at? I don't really see what do we got. That's basically the same thing. Military drills.
That one.
This one?
No, the one with
above it.
This one? Oh no. Why are they children? Oh, they're civilians. Okay.
Yeah, these are the more photogenic of the bunch. There was some portly figures running around out there one day.
For $2 billion a day, you too can feed an F-22 of Venezuelan base. True. All right, here's the thing. If you're a third world nation and you're going up against the USA, despite all of our flaws, you're going to find out why we don't have free healthcare. But you're a child, you're like 10, 11 years old, they hand you a gun, and in your mind, you're like, this is it. This is how I die.
No,
Right?
10 or 11 years old, they've bred you your entire life to believe that your country is capable of actually winning.
Maybe they believe their own propaganda, but even so, I'm just...
That's why they use child soldiers, is because it's easier to propagandize.
Hmm.
You ever hear the story of General Butt Naked? I think that was what he called himself.
Is that one of those? Is that one of those African generals where it's like barbecue and they're famous for barbecuing people? And like, all right.
General Butt Naked was famous for giving child soldiers drugs and cross-dressing in battle and stuff.
Well, also sacrificing them. And yeah, they would strip themselves naked and cover themselves in blood and very, very strange rituals. But don't worry, he's a Reformed Christian now, and he runs his own church.
Right. Of course.
Pay
Daddy
no attention to
spotted in the back.
cannibalism.
What? Hmm?
Oh, I see her.
I mean, this looks like a fun little range day. This looks like Palmetto State Armory, The Gathering. That's what it looks like.
I was to say it looks like Milsim West.
I'm liking our odds. These look pretty good, okay? I mean, it looks like a fun time. It looks like a fun time.
LARPing with the boys.
Actually, what the heck? What is this recommended video? An American ISIS fighter describes the caliphate's final days and his own. Bro, that looks like Jimmy from the store down the road. That's ISIS's top guy right there. Sheepherder for 5 says, read up on the School of the Americas, CIA, squad training in the States for South American partisans and excuse me, and law enforcement. I mean, the CIA's involvement and other three-letter agencies' involvement in South America goes back hundreds of years. I mean, what was it? Was it World War I or II where the Germans wanted in World War I, I think Mexico took over a lot of American oil rigs that were off the coast. And because we were busy doing other things, we just kind of let it slide. And then in World War II, Hitler wanted the Mexicans to mount a invasion on the southern U.S. border to distract us and to split our war efforts, essentially. So no, the political machinations in South America have been going on for hundreds of years. Well, I'm sure that School of the Americas. I'll be looking into that. Thank you, Sheepherder. Appreciate that, sir. I think that's what did you just send me? Oh no. Oh,
There's something to play in the background.
Ah, it looks like one of those EBT Americans. Ah. Oh, that was also World War I? Ah.
All those myths of starving Venezuelans.
The only thing inflating in Venezuela is her waistline. You know what I'm saying? There's literally less than 0% chance.
I don't know. They stand a pretty good chance if they all hide behind her.
They stand?
They stand. They waddle. It's their tank. It's the Torta tank. Yeah, a running cake pop. Oh, that's gross. Jiggle physics. Yep, IRL jiggle physics. Bonk, 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 bonk. Dude, how does one acquire the hippo build? Is it just, are they bred this way, or is there a workout you do to get the hippo build? Does it come naturally?
It's best not to think about that.
Just curious, right?
At least they didn't give them mags.
Never seen an apple have legs before. Yeah.
It's one of those ballards outside of Target.
Yeah, it's a navel buoy. Imagine the smell. No, I am not going to do that. I mean, how silly is it that it's like, you go to one of these rallies and you're like, we have got to defend our nation from the imperialist pigs, America, right? And you're like, all right, you guys are going to learn how to guerrilla tactics, no pun intended, and how to defend yourselves and how to defend this great nation. Who do we have? And we have all three sizes. We have the skinny, we have the wall, and we have the basketball. Okay, so we have all three like torta sizes in one frame right here. It's perfect.
I love how the one in the back is like crouching down a little bit to try and hide behind her.
Yeah. Mocha says Latinx stop at 5 foot and then grow outwards.
Perhaps.
All right, gents. Richard, what do you got coming up, homie?
Well, tomorrow I've got a video, the Seekins Precision video of their lovely $9,000 bolt action rifle that I believe is trying to target the MRAD contracts, which I don't foresee it happening. But that's coming out tomorrow, and a couple other things. And yeah, so if you guys could go over and subscribe and watch and like and comment and do all that fun stuff, it really, really helps us out. And it's all free.
Heck yeah. I just dropped the link to that in the chat. I did have another story about pedo cops and some other wacky stuff that were sent in, but I think on Friday is our Halloween stream. Okay.
Ooh.
So Halloween, We got the costume behind us. We got another element of the costume, which I think you guys are going to really enjoy. I think it'll be a great time. Hopefully try and get some guests on. The rules are, of course, you have to be in costume if you're going to be on the show, of course. But I think we'll try and do like a big cop reaction stream thingamajig or some other, whatever topics happen to be lined up for that day. Yeah,
I will be in
stream.
my standard costume, which is the spooky Southern ghost.
Actually,
that I can't show on
even more terrifying. Richard will be naked behind the camera, and the scariest element will be if he accidentally turns on his camera or not, and accosts the audience. That's what's going to happen.
I'm always naked behind the camera. They just don't realize it.
Wow, see, people didn't need to know that. Dank, what do you got coming up, homie? What do you got working on?
I just bought a 92 Ford Ranger like a week ago, so I'm having to fix all of the issues with that. But other than that, probably gonna do some night vision shooting here this week, and clean up around the house and whatnot.
Do you have the Iris or the Trinity, the new hot ones? Anybody's
I
talking about?
just got an Iris a few weeks ago.
Okay, heck yeah, awesome.
So that's what I'll be using.
All right. Well, with all that out of the way, gentlemen, I want to thank you to everybody who's watching, hanging out, supporting the streams, making us stick around here for 2 to 3 hours, holding us hostage to make the content, as they say. But genuinely, thank you all for hanging out. I really hope you enjoyed the outro on this one. And with all that out of the way, gents, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. God bless.
Auf der Heide blüht ein kleines Blümelein. Das heißt Erika. In der Heimat wohnt ein kleines Mädelein. Und das heißt Erika. Dieses Mädel ist mein treues Chef.